your efforts in investigating these matters. Please take care to rest upon your return. Turning back, Uncle Lee smiled and waved his hand. Young master, you are too kind. This is merely my duty. Should there be any news, I will inform you at the earliest opportunity. After Uncle Lee departed, Wang Yu strolled back to the living room and resumed his seat on the sofa. The image of Karina involuntarily resurfaced in his mind. The opportunity was right before him. He had no intention of letting it slip away. He was curious to see if foreign women were truly as wild as the rumor suggested. Seated on the sofa, a determined smile curled at the corners of Wang Yu's mouth. Suddenly, the tranquility of the room was shattered by the urgent ringing of his phone. Picking it up, he glanced at the screen, which flashed the name Qin Fun. He furrowed his brows slightly and answered, "Hello, old Qin. What brings you to call at this late hour?" On the other end, Qin Fun's characteristic booming voice resonated. "Hey, Wang Yu, what time do you think it is? Do you really mind my call? You aren't in the midst of a romantic interlude with some beautiful lady, are you? Enough with the nonsense. You know me too well to think I'm that flirtatious. Just get to the point. What is the matter?" Wang Yu retorted with a chuckle. "I indeed have something good for you." Qin Fun replied with a chuckle. "I've recently heard about an ultra-luxurious auction for luxury goods happening this weekend." An auction for luxury goods? Wang Yu feigned a pause to heighten his curiosity before continuing. "Yes, this auction is extraordinary. Numerous limited editions and unique items will be showcased. Global limited edition timepieces, high-end bespoke jewelry from top designers. It promises to be an eye-opening experience." Wang Yu raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "That does sound interesting, but I imagine the entry requirements are quite steep." With our status, how could we possibly be turned away? I've already secured an invitation for you. I'm merely waiting for your confirmation." "All right, send me the address later," Wang Yu replied casually. Upon hearing Wang Yu's agreement, Qin Fun exclaimed, "Great. I knew you would be interested. I'll send you the address in a couple of days." "Fine, we have a deal. By the way, do you have the auction catalog? Please send me a copy. I'd like to study it beforehand." "Of course, I'll send it to you right away." This auction is the most significant event in the wealthy circles of the Magic City recently, and many are keeping a close watch. After hanging up, Wang Yu reclined lazily on the sofa, perusing the auction catalog that Qin Fun had sent. His slender fingers glided gently across the screen, his gaze sweeping over the various lots. The first item that caught his eye was a limited edition Patek Philippe watch, of which only 5 were produced globally. He continued scrolling and was captivated by a high-end piece of Van Cleef Arpels jewelry. It was a necklace adorned with exquisite sapphires and diamonds, dazzling and resplendent. Chapter 176. Enjoy tomorrow's date first. Karina returned to her dormitory not long after, humming a cheerful tune as she entered the bathroom, clearly in high spirits. Shortly thereafter, she emerged wrapped in a pink towel, her damp golden hair cascading over her shoulders as she stood before the mirror, drying her hair. Creak! At that moment, the dormitory door swung open, and her roommates entered, chatting and laughing. "Karina, you're back quite early today. Why didn't you go home with Wang Yu?" Lin Shiyun inquired, a hint of playful curiosity on her face. Karina's cheeks flushed instantly, and she replied with a smile, "I'm not that kind of loose woman. We just met. Come on, spill the beans. What progress have you two made?" "I refuse to believe you haven't done anything," Su Xingyao interjected, moving closer with sparkling eyes filled with curiosity. While she dried her hair with the towel, Karina feigned calmness and replied, "Please, don't let your imaginations run wild. After we left, he simply drove me home. The Russian girl may be passionate, but she's not frivolous." Su Xingyao persisted, gently shaking Karina's arm. "Oh, stop hiding it." Karina's lips curled into a smile, her eyes betraying an undeniable mirth. "All right, I must admit, he is rather charming. Conversing with him is effortless. He possesses a great sense of humor and is quite the gentleman. However, this was merely our first meeting. What progress could there possibly be? Don't think of me as some lovesick fool." She playfully winked, feigning innocence before her friends. Lin Shiyun, with a gossiping expression, asked, "Did he mention when you might meet again? Or did he invite you to do something fun?" "Honestly, I can't do anything about you girls." Karina playfully swatted Lin Shiyun's hand, pretending to be exasperated. "He didn't say anything specific, but I did suggest treating him to Russian cuisine next time. I wonder if he would be interested." A glimmer of anticipation sparkled in Karina's eyes as Wang Yu's image danced in her mind. The moment she laid eyes on him, she was captivated by his striking presence. Young, handsome, and affluent. Especially notable was the several million-dollar Vacheron Constantin watch adorning his wrist. It is commonplace for the wealthy to spend millions on luxury cars and mansions, but to invest such a sum in a watch speaks volumes of Wang Yu's extraordinary lineage. far beyond what an ordinary wealthy person could compare to. Just as Karina immersed herself in delightful fantasies of Wang Yu, Jiang Wanwan suddenly scoffed cynically. Is it really that exciting just to know a rich man? He might just be playing around, not taking you seriously at all. Su Xingyao couldn't bear to listen any longer, frowning as she said, Don't say that. Karina and Wang Yu seem to get along quite well. Why do you have to pour cold water on her hopes? I'm merely speaking the truth to prevent her from getting too hurt later, Jiang Wanwan retorted dismissively, rolling her eyes. Just wait and see. Before long, Wang Yu will have forgotten her completely. Karina shook her head, choosing to remain silent. She dried her hair and returned to her bed. Karina gazed at her long, slender legs and couldn't help but gently caress them. You should like this, right? But why hadn't Wang Yu sent her a message so late at night? After a while, unable to contain herself, she took the initiative to message Wang Yu. Are you there? After sending the message, Karina's eyes remained fixed on the phone screen, the glow illuminating her face full of anticipation. Every passing second felt like an eternity. Her fingers unconsciously traced the sheets. Time ticked away, yet the phone screen remained eerily silent, devoid of any new message alerts. With a disappointed sigh, Karina placed her phone beside her pillow and turned onto her side. However, her thoughts raced like untamed horses, refusing to be contained. The more she pondered, the more restless she became, tossing and turning in bed. She pulled the blanket to her chin, then kicked it away, desperately trying to find a comfortable position, but sleep eluded her. This was not how she had envisioned it. Typically, those wealthy schoolmates would respond to her messages almost instantaneously, like eager puppies, showering her with attention. A mere hint of interest from her would send them scrambling to please her, offering gifts and invitations to dine. Their incessant flattery was overwhelming. Yet Wang Yu, since their parting, had never reached out to her. Now that she had taken the initiative to message him, he still remained unresponsive. Karina couldn't help but reflect on her own shortcomings. Was there something she had done wrong? Or was it that Wang Yu held no genuine interest in her, and their previous interactions had merely been out of a sense of gentlemanly decorum? She recalled Jiang Wanwan's acerbic remarks. Had she truly hit the mark? Unwilling to be belittled, Karina bit her lip and resolved to wait a little longer. Perhaps Wang Yu was simply busy. He might respond any moment now. She opened her phone, gazing at their chat interface, her fingers gliding gently over the screen, fixated on the question, Are you there? She then typed another message and sent it. Meanwhile, Wang Yu was perusing details on his phone when Karina's video call request suddenly popped up. He paused momentarily. Then a faint smile graced his lips as he pressed the answer button. On the screen, Karina's slightly anxious yet hopeful face appeared. The moment she saw Wang Yu, her eyes sparkled, but she cautiously inquired, You finally answered. Were you busy just now? Wang Yu regarded Karina with a hint of confusion and replied, I sincerely apologize. I was on a call with a friend. Is there something you needed at this late hour? Hearing his response, Karina replied directly, Actually, it's nothing particularly important. I just happen to have no classes tomorrow, and I was wondering if you might be free to go out together. She lifted her gaze, her eyes brimming with expectation, not wanting to miss any subtle shift in Wang Yu's expression. Wang Yue raised an eyebrow, a glimmer of intrigue illuminating her face. After a moment of contemplation, she replied, Tomorrow, let me think. Yes, I am free tomorrow. Upon hearing Wang Yue's agreement, Karina's face instantaneously blossomed into a radiant smile. She exclaimed with enthusiasm, Wonderful. I shall await your message tomorrow. No problem. Wang Yue replied with a smile before ending the call. Karina clasped her phone tightly against her chest, her entire being seemingly enchanted. As she lay in a daze on her bed, after a considerable while, she finally emerged from her reverie. Shyly covering her face, she dove into her blanket, rolling about on the bed, eliciting laughter from her roommates. Lin Shiyun leaned over, teasingly inquiring, What is going on with you? Did you win the lottery? Karina peeked out from under the covers, her face aflame. Wang Yue has agreed to go on a date with me tomorrow. Wow. Su Xingjia et Galim et Si Ten Li. I knew he found you intriguing. Although Jiang Wanwan maintained her usual calm demeanor, she couldn't resist chiming in. It seems you're quite serious this time. Just be careful not to get too deeply involved. Karina waved her hand dismissively. Oh, let us not overthink it. I'll just enjoy the date tomorrow. She then busied herself in front of the wardrobe, rummaging through clothes while discussing outfit choices and the date itinerary with her roommates. Chapter 177. The true essence of elegance. Wang Yue chuckled softly as he perused the numerous messages Karina had sent earlier. After she had sent her first message, he had activated the Do Not Disturb mode. Sometimes, letting things simmer is quite beneficial. Perhaps a later date would yield even better results. Little did he anticipate that this girl, who had grown up in Russia, would be so proactive. He tapped on her messages. The first was a selfie, accompanied by the caption, "Back to the dorm today. I suddenly felt like showing you a glimpse of my little space." Following that were a series of culinary photographs, showcasing traditional Russian dishes she had prepared herself. From the rich, vibrant borscht to intricate blinis, the images were captivating. Scrolling further, he came across pictures of Karina on campus. His gaze was suddenly captivated by a particular photograph. She wore a fitted black dress, her long, straight legs encased in black stockings, complemented by elegant stiletto heels. Below were additional photos featuring her in similar ensembles, particularly one where she donned burgundy fishnet stockings. She reclined languidly on a plush sofa, one hand casually resting on the armrest while the other playfully tousled her hair, her gaze languorous and alluring. The caption read, "A spontaneous outfit, feeling a bit shy." Further down were a series of photos of Karina in white lace thigh-high stockings, shimmering silver over the knee tights. He straightened slightly, his attention firmly captured by the images, a smile involuntarily curving his lips, a hint of surprise flickering in his eyes. Wang Yue was no stranger to various beauties. Yet Karina's photos stirred an unfamiliar sensation within him, a true embodiment of elegance. He scrolled through the screen, marveling. No wonder she is of mixed Chinese and Russian descent. Her figure is simply exquisite. Wang Yu gazed at the sweet and seductive images of Karina on his phone, feeling a surge of warmth coursing through his veins. His blood began to race, enveloped by an indescribable thrill. "Damn, what a seductress," he muttered under his breath, his fingers frantically swiping across the screen to dial Long Lily's number. As soon as the call connected, he eagerly exclaimed, "Lily, come up right now." "What could possibly be so urgent at this hour?" came Long Lily's playful voice from the other end. "I miss you." Wang Yu's tone grew more urgent, his gaze still fixed on Karina's photos, while his mind conjured an image of Long Lily. He yearned for a different kind of stimulation to quell the restlessness within him. "Really? I'll be right there," Long Lily replied, a hint of confusion in her voice, yet she complied without hesitation. After hanging up, Wang Yu took a deep breath, striving to calm himself. Moments later, Long Lily entered. "You were so eager to see me. Do you miss me?" she teased, leaping into Wang Yu's embrace, her arms gracefully encircling his neck. Her soft voice was laced with playful affection. Today, she wore a fitted short skirt paired with black stockings, perfectly accentuating her curvaceous figure. Her cascading waves of hair fell casually over her shoulders, and a subtle fragrance wafted around her. Wang Yu instinctively held her close. Yet visions of Karina in various stockings continued to invade his mind, captivating his thoughts. "Darling, I wore the black stockings you love, just for you," Long Lily purred, snuggling against him. Wang Yu inhaled deeply, striving to dispel the image of Karina and gradually refocusing on Long Lily before him. His gaze sharpened, taking in the exquisite beauty nestled in his arms. Long Lily's delicate face was mere inches away, her cheeks flushed with a hint of innocence, and her doe-like eyes sparkled with affection for him. "Sweetheart, you are utterly enchanting today," he said, his voice deep and magnetic, imbued with sincerity. Gently cradling Long Lily's waist, he pulled her closer, as if wishing to merge their beings. His lips began their tender journey from her forehead, gliding softly to her cheek, finally resting on her lips, where he kissed her passionately. Long Lily fervently returned his kiss, her hands gripping his back tightly, her nails nearly sinking into his skin. Her breath became hot and rapid, caressing his face. Wang Yu's hands began to wander restlessly, slowly ascending from Long Lily's waist, lightly tracing her spine, eliciting a shiver from her. With a soft moan filled with intoxication and desire, Long Lily instinctively pressed closer to him, as if yearning for more. With a swift motion, Wang Yu lifted Long Lily and strode toward the bedroom. Her voluminous waves of hair cascaded across the pillow, and her gaze, hazy and entranced, lingered on him. Wang Yu's lips departed from Long Lily's, trailing a fervent sequence of kisses down her neck. In that fleeting moment, the room resonated with Long Lily's delicate gasps and Wang Yu's deep breaths. Here, 1,000 words are omitted. The following day, at 5 in the afternoon, the sun continued to blaze. He approached the window, drawing back the curtains as blinding sunlight flooded the room, prompting him to squint slightly. Realizing the hour was growing late, he thought, perhaps Karina is anxiously awaiting. Wang Yu entered the washroom, freshened up, and tidied his hair before descending to the garage. He opened the door of his Lamborghini and settled into the driver's seat. The roar of the engine shattered the tranquility of the garage. Wang Yu sent a message to Karina, then adeptly maneuvered the steering wheel as he drove towards Fudan University. Meanwhile, at the Fudan University female dormitory, Karina frequently glanced at her phone, her expression rife with anxiety and unease. Rising early to prepare herself, she had yet to receive any word from Wang Yu. Ding! The crisp notification sound echoed conspicuously in the quiet dormitory, causing Karina to flinch. Upon seeing Wang Yu's message on the screen, her tense shoulders relaxed, and she exhaled heavily. The frown that had been etched upon her brow dissipated, replaced by an involuntary smile that curved her lips. Swiftly, she replied to Wang Yu, then stood before the mirror, assessing herself with rapid scrutiny. Taking a deep breath to calm her fluttering heart, she stepped out of the dormitory with a buoyant stride. Before long, Karina arrived at the entrance of Fudan University. She donned a pale yellow off-shoulder crop top paired with a high-waisted white miniskirt, exuding a playful charm. Her legs were enveloped in sheer, flesh-toned stockings, radiating an alluring appeal under the sunlight. On her feet, she wore beige flats. Her long golden hair was casually tied into a high ponytail, with a few stray strands cascading onto her cheeks, adding to her allure. Standing by the steps at the entrance, she fixated her gaze on the intersection, not missing any passing vehicles. Occasionally, a gentle breeze would stir, playfully teasing her golden ponytail and causing a few strands to brush against her face. Instinctively, she tucked the hair behind her ear, her eyes remaining glued to the corner. At that moment, as classes were letting out, the flow of people at the school gate began to swell. Boys passing by were inevitably captivated by Karina's beauty. Some merely stole a quick glance before shyly looking away and hastening past. Others boldly stared, their eyes filled with admiration and awe, so absorbed that they nearly collided with nearby lampposts, eliciting laughter from those around. Just as Karina awaited Wang Yu's arrival with eager anticipation, a black BMW 5 slowly came to a halt before her. The window rolled down, revealing a familiar face, her former suitor, Li Yi. As a freshman at Fudan University, Li Yi, possessing a modest fortune, began ardently pursuing Karina upon his arrival. Despite her repeated rejections, he clung to her like a persistent adhesive. Clad in designer casual attire and with meticulously styled hair, he approached her with a self-assured smile, oblivious to her frosty demeanor. "Long time no see, Nana. What brings you here? Shall I give you a ride?" "No, thank you. I am waiting for someone," Karina replied, her brows slightly furrowed as she offered a polite smile. The curious glances from passing students heightened her discomfort, and she yearned to extricate herself from Li Yi's unwelcome attention. Undeterred, he pressed on, attempting to draw her in. "Nana, don't be so distant. I know a restaurant with delightful cuisine. Consider it a favor to me." With evident disgust, Karina swiftly turned aside and declared, "Don't overstep. I've said I'm waiting for my boyfriend. If you continue this way, I will call security." As more students gathered, forming a small circle around them, hushed whispers began to circulate. How can he be so persistent? She has already rejected him. Indeed, such a lack of grace. I know him. He is a freshman who almost clashed with an instructor at the beginning of the semester. These murmurs reached Li Yi's ears, causing his complexion to shift between shades of white and red. "Boyfriend? Huh. You're merely concocting excuses to dismiss me," he bellowed, veins bulging in his neck. "Just look at me. I bought a BMW 5 Series right after entering university, worth nearly $2 million. What man could possibly compare? Is your so-called boyfriend arriving in some clunker? You'll be the one embarrassed." He pounded the car's hood, the sharp sound cutting through the din of the crowd. "I refuse to believe you can find a man of better caliber than me. Keep this up, and I will truly call the police," Karina retorted, her patience waning. The surrounding students began to point and murmur, intensifying Li Yi's humiliation. "Is he really a student at Fudan University? I'm curious to see who dares to claim my woman," he scoffed. Karina felt exasperated yet helpless. Suddenly, a deep, commanding roar of an engine approached, resonating with an overwhelming presence. An orange Lamborghini Aventador, akin to a beast, gracefully entered the scene. Its sleek lines and aggressive design spoke of unparalleled power, with exaggerated air intakes and oversized wheels demanding attention. The students, once focused on Li Yi, were now captivated by the unexpected arrival of the luxury vehicle. Their astonished expressions morphed into gasps of admiration. "Wow, that Lamborghini is stunning. How much could it possibly cost? It's like a dream car. That's the Lamborghini Aventador. I've heard it cost tens of millions." A chorus of exclamations echoed as the Lamborghini came to a smooth halt not far from Karina and Li Yi. The car door gracefully ascended in a unique scissor door fashion, stirring excitement among the onlookers. Wang Yu stepped out, standing tall at an impressive height of 188 centimeters, accentuating his commanding presence. He donned a limited edition blue casual blazer from the spring-summer collection, adorned with an intricately embroidered emblem on his chest, showcasing the brand's distinctive allure. Underneath, he wore a fitted white base layer that hugged his physique, accentuating his well-defined muscles. His lower attire consisted of black, distressed jeans, the meticulously crafted rips striking a perfect balance between fashion and sophistication. The unique stitching details further hinted at a hefty price tag. On his feet were collaborative edition casual sneakers, characterized by their iconic structural design and distinctive industrial-style laces, setting them apart in the realm of footwear trends. The white leather base of the shoes was complemented by black insignias and red accents, exuding simplicity without sacrificing individuality. The collaborative branding on the tongue of the shoes served as a testament to his elevated status and the considerable expense they entailed. With a casual flick of his wrist, he adjusted his cuffs, inadvertently revealing a Vacheron Constantin M. Tearsdar watch on his wrist. This subtle gesture did not escape the notice of several nearby girls. Look at his watch. That's the Vacheron Constantin M. Tearsdar series, globally limited edition. They say even wealth can't guarantee one, exclaimed one, her eyes sparkling with admiration. Isn't it absurd? He is not only handsome and fit, but also so wealthy. He is like a dream come true. Another girl clasped her hands to her cheeks, her eyes gleaming with infatuation. Meanwhile, look at Li Yi, boasting in his dilapidated BMW. Another girl whispered to her elegantly dressed friend, her tone laced with resignation. Just one piece of his outfit could take me ages to save for. She continued, that suit, those jeans, altogether, it must equate to a regular person's annual salary. Let us not forget, he drives a Lamborghini too. Someone else in the crowd marveled. His gaze remained fixed on Wang Yu, as if following a distant dream. In the bustling school entrance, Wang Yu's arrival was akin to a ray of light, illuminating the ordinary lives of those around him, while starkly reflecting the harsh realities of life. Wealthy individuals are inherently enveloped in affluence and luxury. Their world resembles a castle adorned with opulent goods and a dazzling stage filled with luxury cars and exquisite timepieces. Just like Wang Yu's Vacheron Constantin watch, a symbol of exquisite craftsmanship and ultimate luxury, an object of admiration for many who could only gaze at it in magazines. For him, it was merely a component of his everyday ensemble. In contrast, ordinary people labor tirelessly against the waves of life, striving diligently to save and scrimp, all in pursuit of a stable existence. They may toil for an entire year, yet the savings they accumulate could scarcely afford even a single item from Wang Yu's wardrobe, let alone a Lamborghini. It is a dream that remains unattainable for ordinary individuals, yet may forever elude their grasp. This disparity is not merely a comparison of material wealth, but rather a profound divergence in life's trajectories. It cannot be acquired through sheer effort alone. The common folk toil silently in their mundane lives, content with the slightest morsels of happiness. Meanwhile, the affluent revel in their opulent surroundings, indulging in the myriad wonders that life has to offer. At this moment, Wang Yu stands as a stark demarcation between two worlds, evoking admiration and envy from the crowd, yet also a sense of helplessness. Chapter 179. A spectacle exclusively for you. Wang Yu strides forward with measured steps, approaching Karina and Li Yi. How could this possibly be a coincidence? Li Yi's expression darkens amidst the gasps and murmurs surrounding him. His gaze flits nervously between Wang Yu and Karina, awash with uncertainty. As Wang Yu draws nearer, a foreboding sensation wells up within Li Yi. He clenches his fists tightly, the veins on the back of his hands standing out prominently. How can this be? How can it be a Lamborghini Huracan? This is a vehicle I never even dared to dream of. Li Yi's voice drips with bitterness and frustration. The BMW 5 Series, which he once regarded with pride, loses all its luster in the presence of this orange beast, becoming a mere shadow of its former self. He had believed that his modest wealth could impress Karina, unaware that in the face of true affluence, his arrogance and confidence were utterly fragile. It is only when Wang Yu stands confidently beside Karina, effortlessly wrapping his arm around her slender waist, that Li Yi awakens from his delusion. He fixes a fierce stare at Wang Yu, incredulously exclaiming, You are a boyfriend? How is that possible? It cannot be you. The shock and anger on his face intertwine with an unmistakable hint of panic, as if in that moment, the superiority he had constructed over time crumbled entirely. Karina leans into Wang Yu's embrace, addressing Li Yi. I have already mentioned that I have a boyfriend. You insisted on pursuing me. Now do you believe it? Whispers ripple through the surrounding students, punctuated by occasional laughter. Li Yi finds himself enduring a most humiliating moment. Having boasted about his BMW, while Wang Yu arrives in a Lamborghini. Who does he think he is, clinging on in such a desperate manner, oblivious to his own standing? Such remarks wash over Li Yi like a tide, drowning him in embarrassment. His face flushes crimson as he stammers you. You cannot be arriving in a beaten-down car to pick her up, can you? You will be the one to face disgrace. I refuse to believe you can find a man of better standing than me. As Li Yi recalls his earlier words, a wave of heat envelopes his face, as if he had been struck across the cheeks. Those very words now return to him, like boomerangs, striking with precision. He opens his mouth to salvage some semblance of dignity, but his throat constricts, rendering him voiceless. Li Yi finally comprehended why Karina had consistently treated him with indifference. It turned out that Karina had found a wealthy heir, even more affluent than himself. The so-called advantages he believed he possessed were, in her eyes, utterly insignificant. Let us depart, Wang Yu remarked, casting a fleeting glance at Li Yi. Karina nodded obediently. Li Yi's gaze remained fixed in the direction where Wang Yu and Karina had retreated. The whispers and murmurs of their classmates seemed to linger in his ears. After a considerable time, he gradually regained his senses and instinctively glanced at his BMW 5. Once, this car had been a symbol of his pride, a source of his confidence. Yet now, overshadowed by the Lamborghini, it appeared so dull and lackluster that even he perceived his BMW 5 as somewhat shabby. He couldn't help but chuckle at his own predicament. Approaching the car door, Wang Yu gently pressed the key. The Lamborghini's scissor doors rose gracefully, carving a unique arc in the air, which incited yet another wave of excitement among the onlookers. Wang Yu was the first to take his seat in the driver's position. Karina cautiously stepped inside, her slender leg slipping into the vehicle. Once seated, her gaze was immediately captivated by the opulent interior. Wow, this interior is simply incredible, Karina exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with curiosity and excitement. Her fingers lightly caressed the exquisite leather material of the seats, savoring the texture that bespoke superior craftsmanship. The carbon fiber accents, meticulous stitching, and high-tech dashboard all epitomized ultimate luxury and sophistication. A smile crept onto Wang Yu's lips as he pressed the ignition button, awakening the engine. A deep, thunderous roar instantly reverberated through the air, causing the atmosphere to tremble. Do you like it? It will often carry you from now on, Wang Yu said, skillfully maneuvering the vehicle away from Fudan University. As the car glided onto the road, Wang Yu's right hand naturally rested on Karina's long, slender thigh, clad in sheer stockings. The silky sensation caused him to pause momentarily, his fingers gently exploring. Karina slightly startled, a hint of crimson coloring her cheeks. She did not rebuff him. Instead, she leaned her leg closer to him, facilitating his touch. Feeling the warmth of his palm, her heart raced a little faster. She glanced up at Wang Yu, a playful smile dancing on her lips. You appear quite serious, yet it seems you're rather adept at taking liberties. Wang Yu chuckled softly, turning to face Karina, his eyes glinting with mischief. In the presence of my girlfriend, this is not taking liberties. It is an expression of intimacy. As he spoke, he gently squeezed Karina's thigh, his movements smooth and natural. Upon hearing Wang Yu's words, Karina feigned annoyance, swatting his hand away. Who is your girlfriend? We've only known each other for 2 days. Do not speak so recklessly. Yet, the smile at the corner of her mouth and the teasing glint in her eyes betrayed her true feelings. Wang Yu did not take it to heart. He gently placed his hands back on the steering wheel and remarked casually, "It's only a matter of time, isn't it?" The car glided smoothly along the city's main thoroughfare. Karina chose not to respond to Wang Yu's words. After a moment, as if recalling something, she turned to him and inquired, "By the way, where are we headed?" "You'll know when we arrive," Wang Yu replied with a slight smile, his gaze unwaveringly fixed ahead, speaking in a leisurely manner. "You're just keeping me in suspense." "I hardly care to know," Karina huffed lightly, crossing her arms in mock displeasure. Soon, nightfall enveloped the city. The vehicle gradually approached the Bund, vibrant lights flooding through the windows, casting a kaleidoscope of colors upon the two. The Huangpu River shimmered under the moonlight, with boats gliding gracefully across its surface. "What are we doing here?" Karina frowned slightly, her concern evident. "Dining here must be exorbitantly expensive. Perhaps we should consider another place." Wang Yu gently patted her hand, shaking his head softly. He parked the car by the roadside, unbuckled his seatbelt, and exited the vehicle. Karina stepped out, a hint of confusion on her face as the river breeze tousled her hair. Wang Yu turned to her with a tender expression, saying, "I merely wish to show you a light show that is uniquely yours." With that, he raised his hand to point towards the buildings across the river. Karina followed his gesture, a sense of bewilderment filling her heart. A light show? At that moment, the grand screen on the Bun's Oriental Pearl Tower began to transform. The previously vibrant lights began to flicker rhythmically, morphing as if guided by invisible hands, gradually outlining romantic patterns. First, a massive heart appeared, followed by fleeting romantic light and shadow. Finally, dazzling letters emerged, spelling Karina Jean Xian, accompanied by her portrait. Karina gasped, covering her mouth in astonishment as her eyes sparkled with delight. "Is this arranged by you?" she asked, turning to Wang Yu, her voice trembling with emotion. Clearly, she was profoundly moved by the spectacle before her. "Do you like it?" Wang Yu smiled, nodding gently, as he tenderly brushed aside the strands of hair blown by the wind. "From the very first moment I saw you, I wished to create some special memories for you." His gaze was sincere and ardent, radiating a depth of feeling under the illuminated backdrop. Karina's cheeks flushed slightly as she averted her eyes, murmuring softly, I really like it. "Thank you, Wang Yu." A warm current surged within her heart. In that moment, she longed to revel in this unexpected romance. Wang Yu observed the look of emotion on Karina's face, his heart brimming with contentment. Every penny he had spent was worthwhile. "As long as you are happy, none of this is too great a cost for me," he said gently, taking her hand in his. Karina lifted her gaze, tears glistening in her eyes as she locked onto Wang Yu's earnest stare. At that instant, she seemed to come to a realization, her brow furrowing in confusion. Such a magnificent light show must have cost a fortune, right? In fact, it is not a small amount. The cost of a 30-second advertisement is approximately 20,000 yuan, and I directly booked 8 hours. Wang Yu stated. Ding. The system detected that the host spent 19,200,000 with a double cashback of 38,400,000. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1920 system points. So expensive. Why did you spend so much money on me? Karina exclaimed, her eyes widening in astonishment, filled with disbelief at the figure. 19,200,000. This astronomical sum was beyond her wildest imagination. Although her family had some financial means, they were merely an ordinary household. She had never encountered such extravagant wealth. The hefty sum of 19,200,000 was merely a casual purchase for Wang Yu, who had simply acquired a light show for 8 hours. She could never have anticipated that Wang Yu would lavish such generosity on her. A whirlwind of emotions surged within Karina, gratitude, shock, and a tinge of unease intertwined. Wang Yu's wealth surpassed her imagination. She pondered whether attracting Wang Yu's attention was right or wrong. After a long pause, she regained her voice, stammering 1,920,000. This is simply unimaginable. Her voice was thick with astonishment and disbelief, the astronomical number echoing in her mind. Karina instinctively clenched the hem of her clothing, her heart racing. "Don't think too much. I merely wish to provide you with an unforgettable surprise," Wang Yu stated calmly. He gently drew Karina closer to him, lowering his head slightly to meet her gaze, earnestly declaring, "For me, seeing you happy is the most worthwhile endeavor. Money is merely a tool to achieve this." Karina took a deep breath, striving to compose herself. As a mixed-race individual of Chinese and Russian descent, she possessed the straightforwardness of a Russian girl, coupled with the grace of a Chinese woman. Biting her lip, she raised her head, meeting Wang Yu's eyes with unwavering sincerity. "Wang Yu, I'm immensely grateful for everything you have done for me. This romance will forever reside in my heart. However, I do not wish for you to think that I am with you because of your wealth. I like you for who you are. From the very first day we met, I have felt your care and respect for me." Wang Yu nodded gently, his eyes filled with understanding and admiration. "I comprehend your sentiments. I have never thought of it that way. I simply desire to give you the best. If my actions have caused you any pressure, I apologize. It is not pressure, it is just that everything has come so suddenly, and I need time to adapt," Karina replied, shaking her head. Even though she had grown up abroad, she retained the unique essence of a foreign woman. Yet she did not want Wang Yu to perceive her as a vain woman. As boats glided slowly across the river, laughter and joy resonated from the people aboard. Karina inhaled deeply, the coolness of the river breeze invigorating her senses. "I yearn for a genuine relationship with you, one that blossoms from the simple moments of life, rather than merely extravagant surprises." I believe you will not be disappointed. Wang Yu chuckled lightly, fully aware of Karina's sentiments. Much like the character Xia Zhu from a film released this year, Wang Yu's extravagant and wild romantic gestures ultimately revealed his sincere affection for her. Though Xia Zhu appeared indifferent to wealth, the opulent displays of romance, crafted from money, undeniably opened her heart. Love, in its essence, possesses an enigmatic quality that often eludes comprehension. While financial resources are not the sole measure of affection, they can serve as a unique expression of love. Surely, no woman could refuse a dazzling light show worth 19,200,000. If there were, let there be an additional display, another fireworks extravaganza, equally valued. Wang Yu raised his hand, revealing the Vacheron Constantin watch on his wrist, casting a glance at the time. Unbeknownst to them, the hour had grown late. Time has slipped away. Let us depart. Where to? She inquired. To dine. A mysterious smile lingered at the corner of Wang Yu's mouth as he subtly gestured towards the river. Following his indication, Karina's gaze fell upon a magnificent luxury cruise ship. Gracefully anchored on the water's surface, its polished hull gleaming brilliantly under the illumination. Every detail exuded an unparalleled opulence. She gasped, her eyes widening in astonishment. We are dine on that. How extravagant. Wang Yu shrugged nonchalantly, gently taking Karina's hand. It is merely a casual meal. The setting is simply fitting. As he led her forward, she could not help but murmur, this so-called casual meal is beyond what most can afford. Yet, despite her words, the curiosity and excitement sparkling in Karina's eyes were undeniable. Chapter 181. I would rather die than return to Russia. The two approached the cruise ship, the river breeze carrying a hint of moisture as it caressed their faces. The illuminated international architecture along the shore showcased diverse styles, Gothic spires, Baroque carvings. On the shimmering river surface, boats glided gracefully, their lights casting elongated reflections, resembling a flowing galaxy. Soon, they arrived at the luxurious vessel known as the Industrial Bank. Karina gazed up in awe at the magnificent ship, her heart filled with wonder. Wang Yu smiled as he introduced it. This ship is quite remarkable. It once served as the official vessel for the Six Nations Summit, hosting heads of state and dignitaries, and is celebrated as the most beautiful moving scenery on the Pujiang River. Initially, Wang Yu had intended to reserve the most luxurious cruise ship for their meal, but Long Lily suggested that the Industrial Bank was also commendable, especially since it bore the bank's name. As Karina strolled, she could not help but marvel at every intricate detail of the cruise ship, murmuring to herself, "This is utterly breathtaking. I can hardly believe I have boarded such a magnificent vessel." Upon entering the Grand Hall, she was immediately captivated by the sight before her. A colossal crystal chandelier hung gracefully from the ceiling, its translucent crystals refracting a kaleidoscope of colors, illuminating the entire hall as if it were midday. The walls were not adorned with expensive artworks. Instead, they displayed meticulously designed promotional posters of the Pujiang tour, showcasing the unique charm and historical depth of the enchanting metropolis. "Welcome, Mr. Wang. This way, please," a service attendant, dressed in a crisp uniform, smiled as he approached to guide them to the restaurant. Prior to their arrival, Long Lily had arranged everything for Wang Yu, securing the finest table. The attendant led Wang Yu and Karina through the restaurant, where soft lighting and soothing music intertwined with the gentle conversations of fellow diners. They arrived at a prime windowside location, offering an unobstructed view of the dazzling nightscape along the Bund. As soon as they were seated, the attendant presented an exquisite menu. Wang Yu perused the selections swiftly, noting the diverse array of dishes, which included both rich, traditional local delicacies and refined Western cuisine. Dining in such a romantic setting, it was only fitting to order Western dishes accompanied by fine red wine. At 8 o'clock, with the sound of the whistle echoing, the Industrial Bank commenced its night cruise along the Pujiang River. One by one, the waitstaff began serving the Western dishes Wang Yu had ordered. A beautifully presented Wellington steak adorned with French foie gras, delicately topped with glistening caviar, was served alongside a fragrant plate of spaghetti bolognese. Just as Karina was entranced by the culinary delights before her, Wang Yu gently snapped his fingers. Shortly thereafter, a sommelier clad in a sleek black suit approached with an elegant stride, cradling a refined wooden wine box. With great care, the sommelier opened the box to reveal a bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1982, resting within. He skillfully showcased the label before using a professional corkscrew to uncork the bottle, pouring the wine into a decanter with fluid grace, a testament to his expertise. Karina eagerly reached for her phone, first capturing a photograph of the entire table laden with dishes, then focusing her lens on the stunning night view outside. This 1982 Lafite is of exceptional vintage, with a rich, complex flavor and intense fruit aromas, perfectly complementing tonight's feast, Wang Yu explained with a smile. Isn't this a bit extravagant? Karina exclaimed, her eyes widening with astonishment. How much must an 82 Lafite cost? Do affluent individuals frequent such establishments regularly? She inquired, her curiosity piqued. The sommelier poured the decanted wine into the crystal glasses, presenting them to the two of them. Wang Yu raised his wine glass, gently swirling it. The dark red liquid swirling within, emitting an enchanting aroma. He clinked glasses with Karina and casually remarked, "It's not as extravagant as you might think. This is my first time dining here as well." Karina took a delicate sip of the wine, the liquid unfurling on her tongue, its rich flavor intoxicating her senses. It's truly delightful," she exclaimed. In fact, these upscale restaurants, while their dishes may resemble exquisite works of art, often cannot compare to the vibrant flavors found in the humble eateries of the streets. You speak the truth. Karina's eyes sparkled, as if she had found a kindred spirit. I grew up in Russia, and frankly, the cuisine there is a disaster. When I first returned to China and tasted the local delicacies as a middle school student, it felt like discovering paradise. It was unbelievably delicious. Those borscht and rye bread can become rather monotonous after a while. But Chinese cuisine, with its spicy and fragrant nuances, offers an astonishing array of flavors. Karina enthusiastically shared, "The first time I experienced hot pot, I was utterly astounded. A table full of people gathered together, joyously cooking various ingredients, dipping them into sauces of our own making. The taste is something I can never forget. Since returning to China, I would never dream of going back to Russia." Wang Yu watched her animated expression with amusement, unable to suppress a laugh. "It seems you have quite the knowledge of food. Do you have a particular Chinese dish you adore?" Karina tilted her head in thought, her eyes gleaming. "There are so many that I can't possibly choose. But if I must say, I absolutely love Sichuan cuisine, like mapo tofu and kung pao chicken, spicy, numbing, and fragrant. Each bite is particularly satisfying. I also have a fondness for the culinary delights of Qin province." Her eyes sparkled as she continued. "Dishes like oil-splashing noodles and rujiamo make my mouth water just thinking about them. The first time I tried oil-splashing noodles, the hot oil poured over chili and minced garlic released such an enticing aroma. It was an exhilarating experience. And the rujiamo, with its crispy outer layer, crumbles satisfyingly with each bite. Grilled skewers are equally delightful, sprinkled with cumin and chili powder, sizzling with oil. Taking a bite fills one with an overwhelming sense of happiness." As Karina spoke, a blissful expression graced her face. "If given the chance, I'll take you back to Sichuan province to savor authentic Sichuan cuisine," Wang Yu suggested with a smile. "Really? That would be wonderful. I can hardly wait," Karina exclaimed, nearly leaping with excitement. In the soft glow of the lights, the two savored their culinary delights while sipping on the sumptuous red wine. Outside the window, the brilliant nightscape of the Pujiang River transformed continuously, a dance of colors and shadows. The river breeze gently stirred Karina's lovely locks. When you took a sip of the wine, its rich aroma melding ever more profoundly with the romantic atmosphere. Chapter 182. Do you really like me? Unbeknownst to them, the boat's journey was quietly nearing its conclusion. With the sound of a melodious horn, the industrial bank vessel slowly returned to the dock from which it had departed. When you set down his wine glass and addressed Karina, "It's about time. We should be on our way." Karina replied, her slight nod betraying a sense of reluctance. She remained lost in the enchantment of the splendid evening. Wang Yu summoned a waiter to settle the bill. Shortly thereafter, the waiter approached with the check in a respectful manner. Wang Yu took the bill and glanced at the details. Their dinner, which included Wellington steak, French foie gras, and Italian bolognese pasta, along with a bottle of the exquisite 1982 Chateau Lafite Rothschild red wine, plus the service charge on the cruise, summed up to a staggering total of 385,000 yuan. Notably, the 1982 Lafite alone accounted for an extravagant 320,000 yuan in this year's market. Wang Yu presented his bank card to the waiter, completing the payment. Ding! The system detected that the host spent 385,000 and will receive a cashback of 770,000. Ding! Congratulations to the host for earning 38 system points. Disembarking from the yacht, they stood by the dock. The cool night breeze prompted Karina to instinctively wrap her coat tighter around herself. They climbed into a luxury vehicle, and Karina inquired, Are you taking me back to school? Do you wish to return to the dormitory? Wang Yu smiled. Seeing his expression, Karina refrained from answering and turned to admire the night scenery outside. The vehicle sped along the road, and soon they arrived at the Bund Hotel in the bustling metropolis. Entering the hotel lobby, warm yellow lights cascaded gently down, seamlessly blending modern, chic decor with the charm of old Shanghai. At the front desk, a sweetly smiling attendant in uniform greeted them. Welcome to the Bund Hotel. How may I assist you? I'd like to book a suite. Wang Yu replied with a slight nod as he handed over his identification. Good evening, sir. The cost for one night in the suite is 188,000 yuan. How many nights would you like to reserve? The receptionist inquired enthusiastically. Just for tonight. Wang Yu replied nonchalantly. Very well, sir. Please hold on for a moment while I process your request. The attendant took the identification and quickly navigated through the computer, expertly verifying the details while maintaining her sweet smile. Our suite features oversized floor-to-ceiling windows, offering breathtaking views of both banks of the Huangpu River and the stunning skyline of Lujiazui in Pudong. The room is equipped with a signature sleeping bed, ensuring a restful night's sleep. Additionally, we provide high-end bathing products, and the suite includes a separate living area, spacious and fully equipped. Before long, the receptionist returned the identification along with the room key, presenting a printed receipt. Mr. Wang, here is your room key and check-in voucher. Your suite is located on the 35th floor. The elevator is to your right. Simply swipe your key card to access your floor. Should you require anything, please feel free to dial the service number within your room. Our hotel offers 24-hour attentive service. Thank you very much. Wang Yu acknowledged as he accepted the key and receipt. He then turned to Karina and softly said, Shall we? Wang Yushun gently took Karina's hand and led her towards the elevator. Upon arriving at the elevator lobby, Wang swiped the room card and pressed a button for the 35th floor. The elevator ascended slowly, and Karina, resting her head on Wang's shoulder, inquired with curiosity, Is this suite really 188,000 for a night? How exorbitant! Not too bad, Wang replied with a slight smile, tenderly caressing her head. Moreover, the scenery and service here are top-notch. Tonight will surely leave you with unforgettable memories. Karina's cheeks flushed, and she nuzzled into Wang's embrace, whispering playfully, You rascal. Ding! The elevator soon reached the 35th floor. Stepping out, they were greeted by a faint fragrance wafting through the corridor. Upon unlocking the door, they were met with a spacious and luminous living room, exuding luxury and style. The oversized floor-to-ceiling windows revealed a breathtaking night view of the banks of the Pujiang River. Iconic landmarks like the Oriental Pearl Tower and Jinmao Tower shimmered brilliantly under the lights. Captivated by the stunning vista, Karina instinctively approached the window, exclaiming, Wow, this view is simply magnificent. Nothing in Russia can compare. Wang chuckled as he joined Karina, wrapping his arms around her waist and resting his chin affectionately on her shoulder. Nothing is as beautiful as you. You're just being charming. It's not as exaggerated as you say. Karina blushed slightly and playfully poked Wang's chest. Turning to face him, she wrapped her arms around his neck, her eyes brimming with affection. Do you really like me? Of course. Wang lowered his head slightly, gently pressing his nose against hers. Their breaths mingling. Karina's heart raced, and her cheeks grew warmer. Wang's hand softly traveled from her waist to her face, his thumb tenderly stroking her flushed cheek. The kiss lingered for what felt like an eternity until they slowly parted, both breathless. I love you too, Karina murmured, her lips curling into a sweet smile. Wang embraced her once more, feeling their heartbeats gradually synchronize. The air in the room became thick with intimacy. The following day, at 9 in the morning, sunlight streamed through the sheer curtains, casting dappled shadows on the floor. Wang Yushun awakened leisurely, feeling the warmth and softness in his arms. He glanced down to find Karina nestled against him like a sleepy kitten, her tousled hair draped across his arm. Wang couldn't help but smile, gently brushing the stray strands from her face. Darling, it's time to wake up. No, let me sleep a little longer, Karina mumbled drowsily, tightening her embrace. Her voice was sweetly petulant as she snuggled deeper into Wang's arms, seeking a more comfortable position. The warmth of her breath through her nightgown stirred a delightful sensation within Wang. He activated his true vision to gaze at her. Name, Karina Jinxian Lu Mingyan. Age, 20. Height, 181 centimeters. Charisma, 96. Physique, 90. Affection level, 92. Skills, linguistic proficiency, advanced dance mixology. Firearm expertise. Wang Yu gazed at the data revealed by the Eye of Truth, and a wave of contemplation washed over him. With such stature, Karina would undoubtedly be the focal point of attention on the streets, her height nearly matching his even in high heels. Yet, her tall frame contrasted sharply with her delicate demeanor, a juxtaposition that nearly overwhelmed him last night. Breakfast will be gone if we don't hurry. I heard the hotel serves an extravagant breakfast, complete with crepes and hot cocoa. Wang Yu chuckled helplessly. Upon hearing this, Karina slightly opened her eyes, murmuring, "Do they really have crepes? Well then, I suppose I shall reluctantly rise." After they finished their morning routines, they made their way to the hotel's dining area. The restaurant was not overly crowded, and soft melodies floated through the air. Wang Yu pulled out a chair for Karina, and only after she was seated did he take his place across from her. Chapter 183. Through wind and rain before long, the server presented their ordered meals. On the elegantly arranged plate, golden crepes were drizzled with sweet maple syrup and adorned with fresh fruits. Beside it sat a steaming cup of hot cocoa, crowned with a thick layer of cream. Karina eagerly seized her fork and took a bite of the crepe, her eyes narrowing in delight. It's so delicious. Wang Yu, you must try it too. Wang Yu watched her savoring her meal and chuckled. Is it truly that delightful? You'll know once you try it. After finishing their breakfast, Wang Yu glanced at the clock and said to Karina, "It's nearly time. I should escort you back to school, or else your roommates will start nagging." "All right, but you must come find me earlier next time. You haven't forgotten about me, have you?" Karina nodded reluctantly. In response to her words, Wang Yu gently pinched her nose, his eyes filled with affection as he said, "How could I forget? Even if I were to forget myself, I would never forget you. My little glutton." They departed the hotel, with Wang Yu driving Karina toward Fudan University. Throughout the journey, Karina's hand clasped Wang Yu's tightly as she occasionally gazed out the window. Before long, they arrived at the girls' dormitory at Fudan University. Wang Yu parked the car, got out, and opened the door for Karina, embracing her gently. "We've arrived. Make sure to rest well, and feel free to call me if you need anything." "Got it. And you take care on your way back, too." Karina stood on her tiptoes and kissed Wang Yu on the cheek. Just as she turned to leave, Wang Yu suddenly called out to her. He took out his phone and swiftly navigated through it before saying, "I transferred 300,000 to you. Spend it on whatever you like. Don't deny yourself." Ding. The system detected a consumption of 300,000 by the host, with a double cashback of 600,000. Ding. Congratulations to the host for receiving 30 system points. Karina gazed at him with surprise, her eyes brimming with emotion. "Why did you transfer me so much money? I don't even know how to spend it." Wang Yu chuckled softly, affectionately patting her head. "You are my woman. Consider it a playful indulgence. Buy whatever you desire, and if it's not enough, just let me know." Karina nodded vigorously, her gratitude evident. "Thank you, Brother Wang Yu. You are truly wonderful." With that, she bestowed upon him a sweet kiss before turning to enter the dormitory building. Wang Yu watched her retreating figure, a gentle smile gracing his lips. It was only when she vanished from his sight that he turned back to his car. Wang Yu settled into the driver's seat of his Lamborghini Gallardo, pressing the ignition button. Instantly, the deep, resonant growl of the engine erupted, akin to a beast roused from slumber, drawing the attention of passers-by. Skillfully shifting gears, he released the brake and eased out of the campus. As he navigated the urban roads, the Gallardo's distinctive silhouette and formidable power captivated many onlookers. At a traffic intersection, the driver of a modest sedan rolled down his window. Envy etched across his face as he admired Wang Yu's vehicle, exclaiming, "This Gallardo is truly magnificent." Wang Yu merely raised the corners of his mouth in a slight smile. Rolling down his own window, in a congested stretch of road, he switched to comfort mode. Despite the heavy traffic, his precise steering and exceptional handling allowed him to weave effortlessly through the vehicles. Suddenly, a delivery rider's electric bike inadvertently brushed against the Gallardo's side mirror, leaving the young man pale with fright. He hurriedly dismounted, apologizing profusely. "Sir, I'm so sorry. I was in a rush to deliver and didn't notice. How much do you think I owe?" The rider's heart sank, acutely aware that the repair cost for such a luxury car could be an insurmountable burden for him. The thought of losing his hard-earned income sent shivers down his spine, making his legs feel weak. Wang Yu glanced at the rearview mirror, noting only a minor scratch, and waved dismissively. "It's nothing. Just be more careful next time, and hurry along with your deliveries." "Really? Thank you so much. You're such a good person. You deserve your wealth." The rider's eyes sparkled with relief and gratitude, his tension dissipating as he expressed his thanks before hastily climbing back onto his bike and departing. To Wang Yu, it was merely a trivial scratch. Repairing it would be a simple task. There was no need to burden a hard-working delivery rider with undue stress. With the system at his disposal, He had ample resources. Such trivialities were hardly worth concern. Having previously worked as a delivery rider himself, albeit briefly, Wang Yu understood the challenges of their lives. Braving wind and rain, they hustled from one order to the next, striving to earn a living. There was no reason to impose immense pressure over such a minor incident. Finally, with the road clear, Wang Yu switched the car to sport mode. Pressing down on the accelerator, a powerful surge of speed enveloped him, as if he were glued to his seat. The vehicles beside him were swiftly left behind, and the scenery along the roadside rapidly receded. This allowed Wang Yu to temporarily forget the recent minor incident, immersing himself entirely in the exhilarating speed brought by the Lamborghini. The following day, sunlight streamed through the floor-to-ceiling windows of the central building, flooding Wang Yu's office with warmth. Upon entering, he found Long Lily had been waiting for him. Dressed in a sharp business outfit, her meticulously applied makeup could not conceal the delight in her eyes upon seeing him. As soon as Wang Yu stepped through the door, he walked directly towards Long Lily, enveloping her gently in his arms. He placed a tender kiss on her forehead and softly asked, "Lily, have you missed me?" Her cheeks flushed slightly as she wrapped her arms around his waist, responding in a whisper, "I have. I've been hoping you would come all morning." "Let me update you on the company's progress," she continued, her expression turning serious as she picked up a stack of documents from the desk. "We've made significant strides in our recruitment efforts, having hired over 100 employees. Here, take a look at these materials." After their tender exchange, Wang Yu accepted the files and began to review them attentively, nodding occasionally. Once he finished, he looked up, a satisfied smile gracing his face. "Well done. You've managed the recruitment process exceptionally well." Seeing Wang Yu's approval, a glimmer of joy sparkled in Long Lily's eyes. Wang Yu then instructed, "Please notify the management team to convene in the meeting room." Long Lily acknowledged his request and turned to inform the others. Shortly thereafter, the company's conference room was filled with the management team of Jingtuan Capital. General Manager Chen Yu sat at the front, followed by Marketing Director Zhang Hui, Investment Manager Li Kai, Analyst Sun Yuan, and Human Resources Director Lin Xia, with a mid-level staff taking their seats in an orderly fashion. Chapter 184. What do we have? Wang Yu entered the conference room. "Good day, everyone." The crowd rose in unison. Wang Yu gestured for them to sit, taking his place at the head of the table, while his assistant stood by his side. Surveying the management team, he cleared his throat and began, "Ladies and gentlemen, as Jingtuan Capital has evolved to this point, it is time for us to delineate our next phase of development. Our focus moving forward will be on the domains of live streaming influencers and the film entertainment industry. The live streaming sector is currently flourishing, and the influencer economy possesses boundless potential. The film entertainment market has consistently been a substantial opportunity, with vast room for growth. We must vigorously pursue both of these ventures. I would like to first understand the outcomes each of you has achieved in your respective areas of responsibility. Chun, please commence with an overview of the overall situation." Wang Yu leaned slightly forward, resting his hands on the table. General Manager Chun Yu straightened his posture and adjusted his glasses before reporting, "Wang, we have already made progress in both of these directions. In the film entertainment sector, our team has been in discussions with several renowned production companies in the industry. Major firms such as Huai Brothers and Enlight Media have expressed a willingness to collaborate with us. They acknowledge the financial strength of our company and are currently engaged in further discussions regarding specific collaborative projects and details. However, the partnership plan has yet to be finalized." Chen Yu paused for a moment, took a sip of water, and continued, stating, "In terms of live streaming platforms, we are actively communicating with major platforms. At present, only the shareholder Wang Sikong from Panda Live has provided a clear response. Other platforms, such as Douyu and Huya, are still under evaluation of our proposed collaboration." After listening, Wang Yu nodded slightly and, after a moment of contemplation, remarked, "Overall, there has been some progress in everyone's work, which is commendable. The collaboration with well-known film and television companies must be expedited to secure project confirmation as soon as possible. Regarding the partnership with live streaming platforms, it is imperative that we finalize the collaboration details with Panda Live promptly to set a precedent. Other platforms must also not relax their follow-ups. If anyone encounters issues or difficulties in the subsequent work, please raise them in a timely manner." Leaning back in his chair, Wang Yu took a deep breath and slowly stated, "We must understand that we, as newcomers in the investment field, need to establish a firm foothold quickly by being professional, efficient, and sincere. What do we possess?" The crowd exchanged puzzled glances. "We have capital," Wang Yu continued. "Having financial backing is our greatest assurance. Do you all have confidence that within 6 months, Our company can emerge in the realms of live, streaming influencers in the film entertainment industry? Yes. The crowd responded in unison, their voices resonating throughout the conference room. All right, the meeting is adjourned. Wang Yu waved his hand. Subsequently, he returned to his office. His assistant, Li Meng, entered. Do you need anything else? Wang Yu inquired. Ms. Wang, actually, it's about the incident with Kong Jinyuan. I sincerely apologize. After learning of it, my father has been eager to invite you over for dinner, as he wishes to meet you and express his gratitude in person. Li Meng lowered her head slightly, her hands unconsciously gripping the edge of her clothing, her face tinged with nervousness and hesitation. Wang Yu was momentarily taken aback, then smiled gently and waved his hand, saying, Do not take it to heart. That matter is unrelated to you. Kong Jinyuan's arrogance is his own issue, and it is already in the past. You need not feel guilty. Li Meng bit her lip, her eyes filled with sincerity. However, both my father and I feel quite indebted and wish to express our appreciation. I understand your intentions, but the company has been overwhelmed with matters lately. As you've seen, collaborations with live streaming platforms and film companies are at a critical juncture, and I truly cannot spare the time. Once this busy period concludes, I will certainly pay a visit to your father. Wang Yu replied helplessly, fully aware of Li Meng's father's ulterior motives. While it was ostensibly a gesture of thanks, there were likely other calculations at play, whether concerning him personally or the Wang family behind him, or perhaps both. Upon hearing this, a flicker of disappointment crossed Li Meng's eyes. Yet she quickly composed herself, nodding in agreement. All right, Mr. Wang, please do let me know when you have the time. With that, Li Meng turned and exited the office. Wang Yu paid little attention to Li Meng's subtle emotions, continuing to address the tasks at hand. A few days later, at 6 in the evening, in a private tea house in the enchanting city of Shanghai, the decor exuded an aura of antiquity, with wooden tables and chairs meticulously arranged, the air infused with a delicate aroma of tea. As Wang Yu stepped into the private room, he noticed Qin Fun, the chubby Li Xiang, and Chun Su already seated. A set of exquisite tea utensils lay on the table, steam rising gracefully from the freshly brewed tea. At last, you've graced us with your presence, exclaimed the observant Li Xiang, quickly rising to wave him over. Wang Yu approached with a smile, taking his seat and apologizing. There was a bit of traffic on the way. I'm sorry for being late. Qin Fun, skillfully handling the tea set, teased. You actually feel embarrassed? The incident with Kong Jinyuan has been the talk of the elite circle in Shanghai for days. We are all envious. Indeed, you're quite impressive. I have long found him insufferable, but merely thought about it. When it came to my doorstep, I didn't have the courage to act, Chun Su chimed in. Wang Yu chuckled with a hint of resignation, waving his hand dismissively. There's nothing to envy. Kong Jinyuan was simply too outrageous. I couldn't tolerate his arrogant demeanor and decided to teach him a lesson. That lesson has made you a hot topic in our circle. Many regard you with deep admiration. Li Xiang leaned in, his face brimming with envy. Wang Yu lifted his teacup, sipping delicately before replying, Please do not exalt me. It was merely that he provoked me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered. He then inquired, By the way, where's Lao Wang? Why hasn't he joined us? Qin Fun shrugged. He has been swamped with company matters lately, overwhelmed with work, and unable to make it. He asked me to tell you that once he finishes this hectic period, he definitely wants to gather with you. All right, we'll wait for him to be free, and then we can all get together. Wang Yu nodded in agreement. By the way, when does the luxury auction begin? Qin Fun set down his teacup and responded, It starts at 8 o'clock. We still have plenty of time. Then let us enjoy a meal at this tea house before heading over. I hear the dishes here are exceptionally well prepared, suggested Li Xiang. Everyone concurred, and soon after, an array of exquisite dishes was served. Beautifully plated Longjing shrimp, with tender shrimp adorned with vibrant green Longjing tea leaves, emitted a refreshing fragrance. There was also the slow-braised dompa pork, glistening red and rich, melting in the mouth. As they savored the culinary delights, they engaged in lively conversation, discussing the latest trends in sports cars and gossip from the entertainment industry. Time slipped away unnoticed, and, as the start of the auction drew near, Qin Fun glanced at his watch. We should be on our way. We mustn't be late. He stood up to settle the bill, and everyone followed suit, exiting the tea house. Qin Fun approached his one-of-a-kind glass blue Rolls-Royce Phantom, its body reflecting a unique sheen in the twilight. Beneath the fading twilight, a unique radiance emanated from the vehicle, adorned with a temple-like grille and an entirely new lighting assembly, epitomizing luxury. He swung open the car door and settled into the driver's seat, calling out to the onlookers, Brothers, keep up, don't fall behind. The plump figure of Li Xiang squeezed into his flamboyant red Ferrari, while Chun Su made his way to his Porsche 911. Wang Yu hastily approached his Lamborghini Aventador. Once inside, they ignited their engines, the deep roar resonating instantly. Leading the convoy was Qin Fun in his Rolls-Royce Phantom, with Li S. Ferrari and Chun S. Porsche closely trailing behind, while Wang skillfully navigated the rear in his Lamborghini. The vehicles glided through the bustling streets of the metropolis, attracting the gaze of passers-by, their astonished exclamations ringing in the air. Soon, they arrived at the Hilton Hotel at Hongqiao, where a plaza bustling with luxury cars awaited. Uniformed valets busily maneuvered among the vehicles, directing them to their designated spots. As Wang Yu stepped out of the car, he overheard nearby attendants whispering, "Look, ISNT, that Qin Fan S glass blue Rolls-Royce? What a sight to behold today." Indeed, and there is even a Lamborghini Aventador. Qin Fan secured his vehicle and turned to the group, saying, "Let us head inside and see what treasures we can unearth today." Wang Yu adjusted his attire and followed the flow of people into the hotel. Upon entering the grand lobby, an air of opulence enveloped them. The floor was laid with polished marble, reflecting the figures of those present. Along the corridor leading to the exhibition hall, exquisite artworks were displayed on either side, each piece worth a fortune. In the corridor, they encountered several other wealthy heirs attending the auction. One young man with dyed blonde hair greeted them with a smile. "Hey, old Qin, long time no see. I heard you recently acquired another limited edition sports car?" Qin Fan smiled in return. "Just a little something for fun. What about you? What are you planning to bid on today?" Another heir, wearing glasses, adjusted his frames and replied, "I'm quite interested in that authentic piece by Zhang Daqian, though the competition will undoubtedly be fierce." At this point, the blonde turned his gaze towards Wang Yu, a curious smile gracing his face. "Old Qin, care to introduce this new friend?" Qin Fan grinned as he draped an arm around Wang Yu's shoulders, saying, "This is Wang Yu, the one you've all been hearing about in the circle these past few days, the one who recently dealt with Kong Jinyuan." "Huh? So it's you?" the blonde exclaimed, his eyes widening in surprise as he scrutinized Wang Yu. "I've heard so much about you. Meeting you in person is indeed extraordinary. I'm Yang Cheng. Let us get acquainted," he added warmly, extending his hand. Wang Yu reciprocated with a smile. "Hello, it's merely a reputation, not worth mentioning." The bespectacled young man quickly stepped forward, his face adorned with a friendly smile. "I'm Zhao Yu. I've heard of your endeavors and have long wished to meet you. Today my wish is finally fulfilled." Wang Yu shook hands with Zhao Yu, exchanging pleasantries. At this moment, the chubby Li Xiang jested with a smile. "When the auction begins, make sure not to get lost in conversation and forget the main event." Yang Cheng patted his own head, realizing, "Look at my memory, I almost overlooked the important matters." As they chatted, the group gradually made their way toward the auction hall amidst the flowing crowd. Along the way, many greeted Qin Fan and Yang Cheng, while Wang Yu also became acquainted with several new faces. Upon entering the hall, they found the spacious venue already filled with a significant number of attendees. Opulent crystal chandeliers hung overhead, illuminating the entire space. The staff were methodically arranging the auction items for the evening. Wang Yu and the others found a seat and awaited the commencement of the auction. As moments passed, the initially low murmurs of conversation gradually subsided, and all eyes turned toward the stage. A poised female auctioneer, clad in a tailored black suit, confidently ascended to the podium. With a smile gracing her lips, she surveyed the audience and tapped her elegant auction hammer against the table, officially declaring the auction open. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this grand auction," she announced, her voice clear and resonant. "Today, we have meticulously prepared a series of rare and unique items that I believe will make your visit worthwhile." After a brief pause, she continued, her gaze sweeping across the room. "Before we commence the bidding, allow me to outline the rules of the auction. Firstly, each item will have a starting bid, which has been assessed based on various factors, such as market value and scarcity. The increments for bids must not be less than 50,000. Once a bid is placed, if no one raises the bid within 10 seconds, I will begin a countdown from 10 to 1. If, during this time, no further bids are made, I will strike the auction hammer, and the item will belong to the highest bidder. Additionally, to ensure fair and just bidding, should any disputes arise during the auction, such as unclear bids or simultaneous offers, our staff will verify and adjudicate. We reserve the right to expel any bidder who disrupts the order of the auction. Following a successful bid, the buyer must complete payment within 24 hours after the auction concludes. We accept various payment methods, including bank transfers and credit card payments. Should payment not be made on time, the item will be re-auctioned, and defaulting buyers will incur a penalty fee. After outlining the rules, the auctioneer smiled and said, "I hope everyone is familiar with the guidelines. enabling a fair competition to acquire your desired treasures. Now let us officially commence the bidding for the first item. A slight stir arose from the audience as they rubbed their hands in anticipation of acquiring their coveted items. The auctioneer cleared her throat and presented the first item, a finely crafted wooden display case, which she slowly opened to reveal a dazzling limited edition Rolex watch, gleaming with a metallic luster, nestled within. Esteemed guests, before you lies the exquisite Rolex Submariner date, a limited edition timepiece. This watch features a 41mm stainless steel case, elegantly paired with a classic green ceramic bezel. It boasts an impressive 70-hour power reserve and is water-resistant up to 300 meters, epitomizing precision and unparalleled taste. The starting bid is set at 300,000, with increments no less than 50,000. Now, let the bidding commence. As the words lingered in the air, a middle-aged gentleman in the front row promptly raised his paddle. 300,000. Clad in a well-tailored suit, his eyes betrayed a fervent desire for this limited edition marvel. Almost simultaneously, a young woman in the rear, unwilling to be outdone, declared with a resonant clarity, 350,000. Her chic bob haircut and form-fitting dress accentuated her poise, while the designer handbag in her grasp complemented her aura of determination. 400,000. A gentleman donning gold-rimmed spectacles raised the bid once more. The atmosphere surged with excitement as bids echoed throughout the room. 450,000. 600,000. With each offer, the auctioneer's gaze flitted across the crowd. The auctioneer began to count down. 750,000. First call. 750,000. Second call. Wang Yu raised his paddle. 1 million. Although he deemed it somewhat excessive, he could not resist the allure of the bidding war. The auctioneer's gavel halted midair. Regaining composure, he donned a professional smile, his voice ascending in pitch. 1 million. This gentleman bids 1 million. Is there anyone willing to bid higher? The auctioneer scanned the audience, seeking new contenders. The middle-aged man who had previously bid 750,000 turned crimson, veins on his forehead bulging slightly. Clutching his paddle tightly, his knuckles turned white. After a moment of hesitation, he bit his lip, prepared to raise his paddle, only to be gently restrained by a friend beside him, who whispered caution. Do not act impulsively. This price exceeds your budget, and further bidding may not be justifiable. After a struggle of emotions, the middle-aged man slowly lowered his paddle. Observing this, the auctioneer resumed his countdown. 1 million. First call. 1 million. Second call. 1 million. Third call. Bang. The auctioneer's gavel struck decisively. Congratulations to this gentleman. The limited edition Rolex belongs to you. Please proceed to the back office after the auction for payment and collection arrangements. Wang Yu nodded with a smile. Although the price far surpassed the watch's intrinsic value, it was all part of his strategy. The staff swiftly removed the display case of the Rolex. Subsequently, the lights in the exhibition hall dimmed dramatically, and a colossal screen began to rise. On the screen, a sleek, matte black hypercar, exuding an aura of mystery, captured everyone's attention. The auctioneer's voice resonated at the opportune moment. The next item up for bid will undoubtedly ignite the passion of all supercar enthusiasts present. This is an extraordinarily rare Koenigsegg Jesko, produced in limited quantities worldwide, featuring cutting-edge aerodynamic design and an unparalleled powertrain. It is equipped with a 50-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine, capable of achieving a maximum horsepower of 1,600, theoretically exceeding speeds of 500 kilometers per hour, thus earning the title of a terrestrial aircraft. Due to its rarity and uniqueness, this auction item is not present at the venue. The successful bidder will receive this meticulously escorted supercar tomorrow. The starting bid is set at 40 million, with each increment not less than 50,000. Upon this declaration, the atmosphere of the room instantly surged with excitement. Wang Yu straightened slightly in his seat, watching the screen with keen interest. 42 million. Qin Fan made the first bid, leaning back in his chair. A hint of irreverence glimmered in his eyes, as if money were merely a figure to him. 45 million. A middle-aged tycoon, impeccably dressed in a silver suit, promptly followed suit. 48 million. Yang Cheng could no longer contain himself, eagerly raising his bidding paddle, his face radiating anticipation of mastering the supercar. The price soared rapidly, soon surpassing 60 million. 66 million. A young second-generation rich heir in the back row showed no signs of backing down, his crisp bid shattering the brief silence. Observing the fierce bidding war, Wang Yu internally deliberated. He found himself quite taken with the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. Noticing that Chen Su beside him had yet to place a bid, he softly inquired, "Aren't you going to try?" Chen Su shook his head, a wry smile gracing his features. "This price is too high. I certainly don't have that kind of money. 66 million once, 66 million twice. Any higher bids?" The auctioneer's gaze swept across the crowd, his voice growing increasingly animated. The tension in the room reached a fever pitch, with everyone holding their breath, awaiting the next bid. 70 million, 75 million. Wang Yu gazed at the screen, captivated by the irresistible allure of the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. He raised his bidding paddle and calmly declared, 88 million. This bid resonated like a heavy bomb dropped into a tranquil lake, instantly stirring a tempest of reactions. All eyes in the room abruptly focused on Wang Yu. The previously quiet exhibition hall erupted in waves of astonished gasps and murmurs. The middle-aged businessman in the silver suit, once brimming with confidence, now displayed a flicker of shock. He fixated on Wang Yu, and, after a brief silence, clenched his jaw and raised his paddle again, his voice tinged with reluctance. 90 million. Qin Fun, ignited by the fervent bidding, flushed with excitement, his eyes sparkling with fervor, unabashedly shouted, 95 million. 100 million Huaxia coins. The young second-generation heir in the back, undeterred, echoed with youthful bravado in his crisp voice. Wang Yu narrowed his eyes slightly, casually stating, 110 million. The atmosphere in the room reached a boiling point, each individual stunned by the ever-escalating price. Although it is the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute, limited in production globally, surely it cannot be valued at such an exorbitant price. Over 100 million, such an unworthy sum. The auctioneer's forehead glistened with beads of perspiration, her voice trembling with excitement. 100 million, 10 million once, 100 million, 10 million twice. Just as she was about to call out for the third time, the middle-aged tycoon hesitated for a moment before slowly lowering his paddle. He sighed deeply, resignedly leaning back against his chair. However, the young heir did not concede defeat. He inhaled deeply and raised his paddle once more. His voice, though slightly quivering, brimmed with determination. 100 million, 15 million. Wang Yu observed him, a slight smile of assured victory curling at the corners of his mouth as he raised his paddle again. 100 million, 50 million. The room fell into an immediate hush, all eyes fixated on the young heir, awaiting his response. The young man's grip on the paddle tightened, his knuckles turning pale from exertion. His gaze was fraught with internal conflict and reluctance. In the end, he slowly lowered the paddle, a hint of disappointment crossing his features. The auctioneer, brimming with enthusiasm, announced, 100 million, 50 million once, 100 million, 50 million twice, 100 million, 50 million thrice. Sold. With the gavel's decisive strike, the female auctioneer exhaled, a satisfied smile gracing her face. She had not anticipated such a lofty price for the Koenigsegg Adra RS. 100 million, 50 million. Such a considerable commission. The staff swiftly retracted the display screen showcasing the supercar. Subsequently, the spotlight shifted to the stage, where a splendid black velvet tray was gently rolled out, upon which lay a necklace exuding an ethereal green glow. The auctioneer took a moment to compose herself, clearing her throat before continuing. Esteemed guests, the next item up for bid is truly a rare treasure. This necklace, crafted from emerald jade, boasts a centerpiece weighing 80 carats, with a rich hue and exceptional clarity, encircled by dazzling diamonds, each meticulously selected and cut. Its exquisite craftsmanship and unique design artfully blend classical and modern styles, making it perfect for high-profile soirees or as a cherished heirloom. The starting bid is set at 100 million, with increments of no less than 50,000. As her words echoed, a murmur rippled through the audience. Wang Yu, having just acquired the supercar, leaned back in his chair, intrigued by the necklace. Item: emerald jade necklace, weighing 80 carats, crafted by master artisans. This necklace is quite splendid. Perhaps I shall gift it to my mother upon my return home. I am confident she would be delighted. 100 million, 500,000. A middle-aged lady clad in an exquisite evening gown was the first to place a bid, her eyes reflecting her admiration for the necklace, as if envisioning herself as the center of attention while adorned with it. 100 million, 10 million. A gentleman in a tailored suit seated in the front row was unwilling to be outdone, swiftly raising his paddle. He was a seasoned jewelry collector. The exquisite emerald necklace held immense allure for him. The price steadily ascended, soon surpassing 150 million. 160 million. The young heir, who had recently suffered a setback in bidding for a supercar, seemed eager to regain his footing with this necklace. He boldly called out the price, 180 million. Wang Yu raised his paddle, his voice ringing out. Once more, the crowd's gaze turned towards him, many displaying expressions of astonishment. After all, he had just lavishly spent 150 million on the supercar, and now he was making a move on the emerald necklace so swiftly. Which young master was this, so audacious? A middle-aged lady, gritting her teeth, raised her bid, 185 million. 186 million. The young heir hesitated momentarily, but ultimately raised his paddle. His voice lacked its previous confidence, and beads of sweat formed on his forehead. The auctioneer scanned the crowd, her voice rising in intensity. 186 million going once, 186 million going twice. Is there any higher offer? The atmosphere thickened with tension, everyone holding their breath, awaiting the next big spender. Wang Yu's gaze was firmly locked on the emerald necklace, and without hesitation, he raised his paddle again. 200 million. Like a stone cast into a tranquil lake, it stirred ripples of shock. Everyone inhaled sharply, their attention spotlighting Wang Yu. The middle-aged lady's hand hovered in midair, initially poised to raise her bid. Her face turned pale upon hearing that figure, and she gradually lowered her paddle. The young heir, who had just been gritting his teeth in determination, slumped in his chair, completely conceding the contest. The auctioneer's eyes widened in astonishment, her voice quivering with excitement. 200 million. This gentleman bids 200 million. Is there any higher offer? Her gaze darted through the crowd, eagerly anticipating a new bid. Yet, only silence met her. 200 million going once. The auctioneer lifted her gavel high. 200 million going twice. The gavel trembled in the air as everyone held their breath. 200 million going 3 times. Bang! With the gavel's heavy fall, the fierce auction concluded. Let us congratulate this gentleman for acquiring this exquisite emerald necklace. The exhibition hall erupted in fervent applause, mingled with gasps of astonishment and murmurs of discussion. Who on earth was this young master, so extravagantly bold? Having just spent 150 million on a supercar, he now secured the necklace for 200 million. Indeed, such financial prowess was truly enviable. Whispers circulated among the crowd. The glances directed at Wang Yu were filled with envy, admiration, and a hint of curiosity. Wang Yu exhaled deeply, a satisfied smile gracing his face. No price was too high if it brought joy to his mother. Beside him, Qin Fen leaned in with a teasing smile, saying, "You truly are astonishing today. You've stolen the limelight tonight." Wang Yu merely smiled in response, offering no further comment. As time passed, Wang Yu gradually acquired several items of interest, culminating in a total expenditure of 680 million Huaxia coins, alongside a few earlier acquisitions. Qin Fen and Li Xiang, along with others, also secured several small trinkets, which were not inexpensive. At that moment, the lights in the exhibition hall dimmed abruptly, leaving only a spotlight illuminating the stage. 2 staff members clad in black evening attire approached the platform, delicately carrying a painting concealed beneath a heavy curtain. The atmosphere fell silent, with all present holding their breath, their gazes fixated on the mysterious auction item poised for revelation. The auctioneer returned to the stage, her voice trembling with excitement. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to unveil the most significant highlight of this evening's auction. The landscape painting fields near Alls, created by the Impressionist master Vincent van Gogh in 1889. This exquisite piece, contemporaneous with Van Gogh's iconic work Starry Night and Irises, encapsulates the artist's profound reflections on nature and life. It embodies Van Gogh's artistic spirit, bearing witness to a glorious moment in the annals of art history. This artwork is making its debut at auction, having been authenticated and appraised by esteemed institutions. With a starting bid set at 350 million in increments no less than 10 million. Upon the conclusion of her announcement, a wave of astonishment swept through the audience. Wang Yu straightened in his seat, his eyes locked onto the painting. Item: Fields near Alls, Vincent van Gogh, 1889. Capturing the vibrant vitality of the fields near Alls with his passionate love for nature and life, he immortalized it on canvas with bold, vivid colors and unrestrained brushstrokes. Although he struggled to fully comprehend the works of these Western artists, it did not diminish their considerable collectible value. 360 million, exclaimed an elderly gentleman with silver hair, dressed in a bespoke suit. A seasoned art collector with a notable reputation, he harbored a particular affection for Van Gogh's creations. His gaze was fixated on the painting, brimming with obsession. 380 million. Followed another middle-aged tycoon, Recently emerging in the collecting scene, his financial prowess, bolstered by company IPO, allowed him to make frequent bids at various auctions. He raised his paddle, his expression one of exhilaration, as if seeking to affirm his status through the acquisition of this masterpiece. 400 million, announced an elegant middle-aged lady, raising her paddle leisurely. The price soared higher, each increment heightening the tension in the room. Wang Yu lifted his paddle once more, declaring 450 million, 460 million. A middle-aged man with gold-rimmed glasses swiftly countered. 480 million. The middle-aged tycoon, who had previously placed a bid, once again proclaimed a lofty price. His face was already drenched in beads of sweat, yet his gaze remained resolutely determined. The auctioneer's eyes swept across the crowd, his voice rising in fervor. 480 million, once. 480 million, twice. Is there any higher bid? The atmosphere in the room had reached a fever pitch, with everyone holding their breath. 600 million, exclaimed an elderly gentleman with graying hair, taking a deep breath before raising his bid by a staggering 120 million. This declaration landed like a bombshell in the hushed exhibition hall, causing an immediate uproar among the attendees. Curious glances turned towards the old man, their expressions a mixture of astonishment and disbelief. How outrageous! Who is this man so audacious? 600 million for a mere painting. What is his background? Murmured the audience, exchanging whispers. He is quite renowned in the art collection circles of the metropolis. Surely you are aware of that? The auctioneer's eyes sparkled with surprise and excitement. 600 million. This gentleman bids 600 million. Is there anyone willing to go higher? Meanwhile, a middle-aged man with gold-rimmed glasses furrowed his brow, his fingers gently tapping the armrest of his chair as he weighed his options internally. He recognized the immense artistic value of the piece, but found the price exorbitant. Ultimately, however, his desire for the artistic treasure prevailed. He gritted his teeth and declared, 610 million. Wang Yu cast a glance at him before raising his paddle once more. 650 million. This declaration sent the room into another frenzy. His financial resources are unfathomable. Just how much does he possess? The man with the gold-rimmed glasses whispered to his assistant. Indeed, it seems this auction will remain unpredictable until the very last moment. The assistant nodded, his gaze fixed intently on Wang Yu. 680 million. A tall, slender elder raised his paddle. His voice, though tinged with age, resonated with strength. The crowd turned to look at him. This elder was a veteran in the collection community, passionately devoted to collecting art, particularly enamored with Van Gogh's works. His involvement indicated he would not easily back down. Wang Yu frowned slightly, but without hesitation raised his paddle again. 700 million. Sweat beaded on the forehead of the man with the gold-rimmed glasses as he raised his paddle once more. 730 million. His hand trembled slightly. This auction had already surpassed his initial budget, but he was unwilling to concede. 780 million. The tall elder countered without hesitation. 800 million. Wang Yu maintained his composure, raising his paddle again. The auctioneer's voice was now somewhat hoarse, yet still brimming with enthusiasm. 800 million. This gentleman bids 800 million. Is there anyone willing to go higher? After a brief silence, the man with the gold-rimmed glasses struggled to speak. 810 million. Wang Yu afforded him no respite, immediately raising his paddle. 900 million. With that exclamation, the entire venue fell into a profound silence, as all were left speechless by the staggering price. The financial magnate sighed deeply and slowly lowered his paddle, fully aware that the exorbitant sum of 900 million had rendered him powerless to continue the bidding. The slender, elderly man gazed at Wang Yu, his eyes reflecting a complex array of emotions, tinged with reluctance. After a prolonged moment of hesitation, he ultimately relinquished his paddle. Just when everyone believed the dust had settled, a youthful voice erupted from the back. 930 million. The crowd turned in unison to witness a young man rising to his feet. His gaze held a hint of disdain, as if he regarded the 900 million price tag with utter contempt. Intriguing, Wang Yu thought, casting a glance at him, a subtle smile gracing his lips. The hidden affluent individuals in Huagua were countless. The emergence of a wealthy second-generation heir was hardly remarkable. 950 million. Upon hearing Wang Yu's bid, the young man's expression flickered with annoyance. He abruptly raised his paddle above his head, almost shouting the next figure, 1 billion. His voice rang out in the hushed auction hall, startling many, who began to murmur amongst themselves. Observing the young man's flushed face, Wang Yu contemplated silently. It was evident that the youth had allowed his emotions to dictate his bidding. He was clearly caught up in the moment. However, Wang Yu had set his sights on acquiring this painting. Having come this far, he would not easily concede. Taking a deep breath, Wang Yu raised his paddle once more, 1,100,000,000. This declaration plunged the room back into silence. All held their breath, their eyes fixated on the two bidders, as if witnessing a historic confrontation. Beads of sweat formed on the young man's forehead. This price had far exceeded his original budget, yet he was unwilling to capitulate to Wang Yu. Under the scrutiny of the crowd, he gritted his teeth and, with a quivering voice, declared, 1,110,000,000. Immediately regretting his outburst, he clenched his fists anxiously, hoping Wang Yu would continue to raise the stakes. Wang Yu's gaze lingered on the young man for a moment before he chuckled softly. 1,200,000,000. The young man's complexion paled, his legs wobbling slightly as he struggled to maintain his composure. Internally relieved that Wang Yu had accepted his previous bid, just as the audience anticipated Wang Yu's imminent victory in acquiring the manuscript. A clear voice rang out from a corner of the auction hall. 1,250,000,000. Hee, this painting shall be mine. A middle-aged lady clad in an opulent gown stood up. Without hesitation, Wang Yu raised his paddle again, his voice resolute. 1,380,000,000. The corners of the middle-aged lady's mouth curled into a confident smile. Without a moment's pause, she immediately countered. 1,400,000,000. 1,500,000,000. Wang Yu raised his bid once more. This figure ignited a fervor throughout the hall as individuals marveled at Wang Yu's financial prowess and audacity. The middle-aged lady remained silent for a brief moment, studying Wang Yu intently. Ultimately, she lowered her paddle and smiled at him, conceding defeat. The auctioneer's voice trembled with excitement. 1,500,000,000. First call. 1,500,000,000. Second call. 1,500,000,000. Third call. As the auction hammer descended with a resounding thud, the evening's bidding came to a close. The deal is struck. Congratulations to the gentleman who has acquired Van Gogh's landscape painting, Fields Near Alls. Let's extend our heartfelt congratulations to him. Wang Chen rose from his seat, offering a slight nod to those around him. With the conclusion of the auction, the attendees began to disperse. Wang Yu, however, made his way slowly toward the backstage area. Upon entering the backstage, he was warmly greeted by a staff member from the auction company, who guided him into an elegantly decorated VIP room. The soft lighting illuminated a large mahogany table at the center, adorned with exquisite tea sets and various documents. Young Master Wang, congratulations on acquiring this unparalleled treasure. A middle-aged man, impeccably dressed in a suit and tie, approached briskly, extending his hand with enthusiasm. I am Li Ming, the head of this auction. I will assist you in completing the transaction procedures. Wang Yu politely shook his hand, responding with a smile. Thank you, Mr. Li. I appreciate your assistance. Li Ming invited Wang Yu to take a seat and then picked up a document, explaining in detail, Mr. Wang, according to our auction procedure, you need to sign this transaction confirmation, acknowledging that you have purchased these treasures for 21.8 billion. Wang Yu took the document, reading it meticulously, and upon confirming its accuracy, he signed his name in the designated area. Very well, the transaction confirmation has been signed. Next, we move on to the payment process. Li Ming continued. How would you like to pay? By card. Wang Yu replied nonchalantly. Ah, by the way, how is the auction commission calculated? Wang Yu suddenly inquired. Our commission rate is 10 of the transaction amount, Li Ming explained. This means you'll need to pay 18 billion as commission, which should be settled alongside the purchase price. Wang Yu slightly furrowed his brow but quickly regained his composure. After all, he had familiarized himself with the auction commission rules prior to participating in the bidding. All right, Wang Yu said as he produced his bank card and handed it to Manager Li. Li Ming took the card and stood up, saying, Mr. Wang, please hold on a moment. I will arrange for the staff to bring the card reader. Before long, a staff member cautiously entered the VIP room, holding a large card reader. Mr. Wang, please enter your password here. The total is 23.98 billion, which includes 21.8 billion for the purchase and 18 billion for the commission. Li Ming expertly operated the machine, inputting the relevant amounts, and then pushed the card reader in front of Wang Yu. Wang Yu nodded slightly, his expression calm as he entered his password. At the moment he pressed the confirmation button, the card reader emitted a series of beeping sounds, and silence enveloped the VIP room. The staff members unconsciously held their breath, their eyes fixed intently on the machine. After a few seconds, the card reader's screen displayed the message, Transaction in process, please wait. This brief pause felt interminably long. Finally, a beep punctuated the stillness. The screen illuminated with the notification, Transaction successful. The system detected that the host consumed 239 $8 billion, with a double cashback of 479. $6 billion. A notification chimed. Congratulations to the host for earning 239,800 points. Manager Lee let out a long breath, his face displaying a relieved smile. Congratulations, young Master Wang. The payment has been successfully processed. Your financial prowess and decisiveness truly leave us in awe. Wang Yu smiled and replied, all right, the funds have been transferred. Now, I kindly ask you to expedite the delivery arrangements. Rest assured, Mr. Wang, we will handle the delivery procedures with utmost speed. Li Ming responded promptly. Subsequently, Li Ming and Wang Yu engaged in a detailed discussion regarding the specifics of the delivery, including the time, location, and personnel for receipt. Once both parties confirmed the details, Wang Yu stood up to leave. Li Ming warmly escorted him to the door of the VIP room, not forgetting to reiterate, young Master Wang. We will confirm with you 1 hour in advance at 10 o'clock in the morning, 3 days from now, at your designated location, the CMC Haijing No. 1 in Lujiazui. Wang Yu nodded in gratitude and turned to exit. As he stepped out of the VIP room, he spotted Qin Fun, the chubby fellow, and Shen Su waiting nearby. Over 20 billion, and you didn't even blink. I'm starting to suspect you might have pilfered your father's money. Qin Fun approached first, giving Wang Yu a hearty pat on the shoulder, his eyes brimming with admiration. Chubby Li Xiang joined in, his round face bursting with excitement. Your maneuver has transformed tonight's auction into your personal showcase. In this circle, who will not know the illustrious name of Wang Yu? Shen Su chuckled and shook his head. I did not anticipate that you would elevate the event by several notches. This level of audacity is astonishing. It's just luck. I couldn't resist when I found something I liked, Wang Yu replied with a light wave of his hand. Though his tone was casual, the gleam in his eyes betrayed his delight. The night had indeed been rewarding for him. The group exchanged a few more pleasantries, and, as time was getting late, they made their way to the parking lot. After bidding farewell, Wang Yu approached his sleek Lamborghini. He settled into the car and fastened his seatbelt. With the roar of the engine, he pressed the accelerator and exited the parking lot. The dazzling lights of the night city illuminated the streets of Shanghai. Shortly thereafter, Wang Yu arrived at the CMC Haijing No. 1 in Lujiazui. After parking his vehicle, he took the exclusive elevator straight to the top floor's Sky Palace. Upon opening the door, a spacious and bright living room greeted him, with expansive floor-to-ceiling windows offering a breathtaking view of the Huangpu River's splendid nightscape. Wang Yu walked into the living room and headed directly to the window, gazing at the twinkling lights outside. He then moved towards the wine cabinet, retrieving a bottle of vintage red wine and pouring himself a glass. Gently swirling the glass, the ruby liquid danced within, releasing an alluring aroma. He took a sip, relishing the pleasant intoxication brought on by the wine. System, open the personal information panel. Notification. The personal information panel has been activated. Host, Wang Yu age, 20 years height, 188 centimeters charm, 120. The maximum limit for an ordinary person is 100. Physique, 120. The maximum limit for an ordinary person is 100. Endurance, 120. The maximum limit for an ordinary person is 100 entries. Double cashback. Effect. All reasonable expenditures will be refunded double. Ultimate physique. Effect. From this moment forth, you shall be the pinnacle of human physique. Points. 262. 715 Hua, Xia currency. 32, 847, 924, 770 after a period of accumulation. The system points have astonishingly reached 262,000. Gazing at the personal information panel before him, Wang Yu's eyes sparkled with anticipation. System, initiate the advanced roulette. Ding! The advanced roulette has been activated. Before him, the system's luminous screen erupted in a dazzling golden light. The brilliance flickered incessantly, emanating an indescribable aura of mystery that felt both solemn and boundless. As the radiance began to wane, an ancient and enigmatic roulette appeared, spinning continuously. This time, Wang Yu turned his head away in advance, avoiding the intense glare. System, I want to go all in. Ding! Consuming 262,000 points, the system commences the lottery. Chapter 190, of course, we shall wash together. Ding! Consuming 262,000 points, the system commences the lottery. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained a limited edition vehicle, an Apollo. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have acquired the entry, Big Eater. Thank you for your patronage. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained 999 Hua Xia currency. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have acquired the entry, Master of Time Management. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have obtained 999 Huaxia currency. Thank you for your patronage. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have acquired 888 Huaxia currency. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have obtained 1,000,000,000 Huaxia currency. The Industrial and Commercial Bank of China reminds you, your account has been credited with 886, bringing your balance to 656 Huaxia currency. Wang Yu had no time to glance at the bank notification on his phone. He hurriedly turned his attention to the entry introductions. Host. Wang Yu age, 20 years height, 188 centimeters charm, 120. The maximum limit for an ordinary person is 100. Physique, 120. The maximum limit for an ordinary person is 100. Endurance, 120. The maximum limit for an ordinary person is 100. Entries. Double cashback. Effect. All reasonable expenditures will be refunded double. Ultimate physique. Effect. From this moment forth, you shall be the pinnacle of human physique. The glutton. Effect. Significantly enhances gastric capacity, allowing one to effortlessly consume vast quantities of food while ensuring rapid digestion, alleviating concerns regarding gastrointestinal burdens. Even indulging in excess will not lead to weight gain or health issues. Master of Time Management. Effect. Greatly augments the perception of time, enabling precise planning of every moment. Attention is intensely focused, doubling work efficiency, allowing for the completion of numerous tasks in a shorter span, eliminating any occurrence of time conflicts or chaos. Points. 2715. Huaxia coins. 35, 036, 813, 656. Wang Yu gazed at the newly acquired entries and rewards displayed on the system panel, a smile involuntarily gracing his lips. He chuckled, exclaiming, "Ah, Apollo has arrived at the perfect moment. The previous vehicle I had just met its demise a few days ago, and I was contemplating when I would find the time to select a new one. Now, the system has arranged it for me. How considerate." Wang Yu's gaze shifted from the glutton to the Master of Time Management. This entry is simply extraordinary. Excitement flickered in his eyes. Knowledge that would take others months to grasp, he could assimilate in a matter of weeks. Even in leisure, he could allocate his time judiciously. After reveling in the exhilarating speed of a top-tier sports car, he could seamlessly transition to another supercar. Perhaps he could even find a moment to savor a cup of rich coffee and indulge in a good book, though not just any book. Wang Yu set his glass of red wine on the side table before stepping out of the living room and descending in the elevator. He arrived at the three-bedroom residence of Long Lily. Upon opening the door, a wave of warmth enveloped him. Long Lily's abode was adorned with a cozy and exquisite decor. The European-style furniture was perfectly arranged, with every detail reflecting her unique taste. In the living room, a crystal chandelier cast a soft glow, illuminating the entire space. Several artistic paintings adorned the walls, harmonizing beautifully with the bookshelves that displayed an array of books and decorative items. "Lily?" Wang Yu called out, but the living room echoed back his voice in silence. Furrowing his brow, he scanned the room. Suddenly, a faint sound of running water drifted from the direction of the bathroom. A knowing smile crept on Wang Yu's face as he stealthily approached the bathroom. Before he could draw near, the air was infused with a subtle scent of roses, the fragrance of Long Lily's favorite bubble bath. Gently, he pushed against the bathroom door. It was unlocked and slowly swung open. Amidst the steamy haze, Long Lily was luxuriating in the bathtub, surrounded by a cascade of pristine bubbles that obscured all but her fair shoulders and delicate collarbone. Her damp, long hair tumbled carelessly to one side, a few strands clinging to her cheek, enhancing her allure. "Ah!" Long Lily jolted awake at the sound, her eyes widening as she beheld Wang Yu. Initially startled, her cheeks swiftly flushed a rosy hue as she playfully scolded, "Why did you just barge in here?" Instinctively, she began to rearrange the bubbles, attempting to conceal herself more securely. Wang Yu, however, wore a mischievous smile as he strode forward. "What's this? Am I not welcome?" As he spoke, he began to unbutton his shirt. "What are you doing?" Long Lily's voice carried a hint of shyness and playful reproach. "Of course, we're going to wash together." Wang Yu winked, deftly shedding his garments and stepping into the spacious bathtub, ample enough for two to luxuriate in this delightful moment. Once seated, he pulled Long Lily into his embrace, eliciting a soft gasp from her. "How was the auction today?" Long Lily leaned against Wang Yu, her fingers tracing circles on the water's surface as she softly inquired. "It was decent. Wang Yu replied with a smile. Decent. Don't keep me in suspense. Tell me everything. Long Lily playfully punched his chest, lifting her head to reveal her sparkling eyes brimming with anticipation. Wang Yu's lips curled into a mysterious smile. Patience, my dear. Besides the auction, I have prepared a surprise for you. Releasing his hold on her, he reached into the pocket of his clothes by the tub and retrieved an exquisite small box. Long Lily gazed at the box with curiosity, her eyes shimmering with intrigue. What is this? Wang Yu opened the box, revealing a stunning Van Cleef Arpels haute couture jewelry necklace, quietly resting within. The brilliant diamonds and gemstones complemented each other, casting an enchanting glow under the bathroom lights. The necklace's design was masterfully conceived, with each gem's cut and setting executed to perfection. Surrounding the central diamond were smaller diamonds, resembling a constellation of stars adorning the moon, while the surrounding colorful gemstones added a touch of vibrancy and luxury. Wow, it's so beautiful! Long Lily exclaimed, her eyes wide with surprise and emotion. Is this for me? Of course. How could my woman be without a necklace worthy of her? Wang Yu chuckled as he lifted the necklace and gently placed it around Long Lily's neck. It fit her perfectly, as if custom-made, accentuating her snow-white skin and radiating a noble elegance. I love it. Thank you, darling. Long Lily caressed the necklace, her face aglow with happiness. She was genuinely touched, not having anticipated such a lavish gift from Wang Yu. One must understand that a Van Cleef Arpels haute couture necklace can cost tens of millions. This particular piece, presented at an auction, must be valued at several million. Tears welled up in Long Lily's eyes. Ding! Long Lily's affection level has reached its maximum. Wang Yu smiled knowingly. She was the second among his women to attain this level of affection. It was worth every bit to gift her this necklace. So how will you thank me? Long Lily's cheeks flushed slightly, her eyes sparkling with mischief. She gently bit her lower lip, then wrapped her arms around Wang Yu's neck. Drawing closer, her warm breath brushing against his ear. How do you want me to thank you? Wang Yu's lips curled into a playful grin as he tenderly stroked her hair, whispering, perhaps something a bit more tangible. I knew you had ulterior motives. Long Lily laughed playfully, gently pushing Wang Yu away while feigning irritation. Yet the affection in their eyes was impossible to conceal. In the warm embrace of the bathtub, steam enveloped the air and the gentle lighting cast a soft glow, allowing the two to bask in the romantic ambience. Wang Yu's hand tenderly caressed Long Lily's hair, while she occasionally lifted her head to breathe, exchanging deep, loving gazes filled with adoration. The surrounding water rippled gently, and the mingling scents of roses and wine added an air of intimacy to the enchanting scene. The following day, Wang Yu emerged from Long Lily's bedroom and made his way to the garage. There, the striking red Ferrari LaFerrari stood silently. He slid into the driver's seat and ignited the engine. With a deep, powerful roar, the car sped out of the underground parking lot like an arrow released from a bow. Before long, the vehicle arrived at Pudong International Airport. Wang Yu parked in the designated area and strode towards the departure hall, his gaze swiftly scanning the crowd until it landed on Shun Qingya's figure. Clad in a flight attendant's uniform, she was tall and graceful, pulling her suitcase while looking around. Qingya, Wang Yu called out, raising his hand. Upon hearing his voice, Shun Qingya turned and her face lit up with a radiant smile as she hurried towards him. I've been waiting for you. I could hardly contain my excitement, she exclaimed, throwing herself into Wang Yu's embrace. He held her tightly and kissed her hair gently, murmuring, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. There was a bit of traffic. Taking her suitcase from her, he intertwined his fingers with hers as they headed towards the parking lot. Upon reaching the LaFerrari, Shun Qingya gasped in awe. Wow, is this your new car? It's stunning. Wang Yu smiled as he opened the car door for her. Do you like it? I'll take you for a spin later. Absolutely, Shun Qingya exclaimed, settling into the passenger seat, her excitement palpable as she explored the interior. Wang Yu started the engine and they drove towards Lujiazui. Soon, they arrived at the underground parking lot of the Jimao Tower. Wang Yu led Shun Qingya to a 3-bedroom apartment, entering the code to unlock the door. Inside, the space was bright and spacious, decorated in a minimalist yet elegant style. A luxurious leather sofa adorned the living room, directly facing a large LCD television. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, the vibrant nightscape of Lujiazui was laid bare, with towering skyscrapers standing in splendid array. Is this your new home? Shun Qingya asked, a hint of confusion in her voice as she looked at Wang Yu. He gently handed her the keys, his voice soft. This will be your home from now on. Do you like it? Tears welled in Shun Qingya's eyes, glistening with disbelief and joy as she replied, Really? Is this truly for me? Wang Yu enveloped her in his arms, resting his chin atop her head, and reassured her. Of course it is. You deserve nothing but the best. I truly love it. Thank you, my husband. But this is so extravagant, she murmured, leaning against him. Overwhelmed by warmth and emotion, her voice quivering slightly. Wang Yu gently released her, cupping her face in his hands, gazing into her eyes with earnestness as he declared, "As long as you are happy, everything is worthwhile. In the future, whenever your flights bring you to this magical city, you shall stay here, where both work and leisure are effortlessly accessible. Furthermore, I hope you can have a cozy little nest that is entirely your own." Shen Qingya, her tears transformed into laughter, rose on her toes to plant a kiss on Wang Yu's cheek. She then flitted around the room, occasionally caressing the soft leather of the sofa, and, at other times, rushing to the window to admire the view outside. This sofa is so comfortable, and the scenery beyond the window is simply breathtaking. I can spend my evenings here. Gazing at the night view, Shen Qingya exclaimed with enthusiasm. Wang Yu followed closely behind her, watching her delight with eyes full of affection, smiling as he said, "As long as you like it, we can change the furniture if it does not meet your satisfaction. There is no need for that. Everything is perfect." "I feel as though I am dreaming," Shen Qingya responded, moving beside Wang Yu once more to embrace him tightly, her voice laced with joy. Wang Yu gently patted her back, teasing, "Then pinch yourself to see if it's a dream." Shen Qingya, indeed, gently pinched her arm, letting out a soft gasp of pain, then laughed brightly. "It's not a dream. This is real, and I am so happy." Her cheeks flushed, and her eyes sparkled. She took Wang Yu's hand and retreated step by step toward the bedroom. The soft light in the bedroom cascaded down, casting their overlapping shadows on the floor. In the center of the room, her fingers slowly rose, delicately grazing the buttons on her flight attendant uniform. With each movement, the buttons were undone one by one, the collar of the uniform loosening slightly, revealing the pristine skin beneath, contrasting sharply with the attire, adding an alluring touch. She subtly turned to the side, her gaze a blend of shyness and daring, igniting a flutter in Wang Yu's heart. Soon after, her hand glided toward the hem of her skirt, gradually lifting it to reveal her long, graceful legs encased in gray stockings. The soft fabric clung closely to her skin, perfectly outlining the contours of her legs. Shen Qingya bit her lower lip softly, casting a seductive glance at Wang Yu. His breath quickened, his chest rising and falling dramatically as he stepped forward to embrace her waist tightly. "My dear, I truly love you." Shen Qingya tilted her head back, exposing her elegant neck, her hands entwined around Wang Yu's neck as she whispered sweetly in his ear. Those tender words ignited a flame within Wang Yu, awakening his deepest desires. He swept her into his arms and gently laid her on the soft bed, following suit atop her. Shen Qingya's hands eagerly roamed over Wang Yu's body, her form arching slightly, the friction of her gray stockings against the sheets producing a soft sound. Wang Yu's lips trailed from her earlobe downwards, fervent kisses cascading over her neck and collarbone, causing Shen Qingya to tremble, soft moans escaping her lips. Garments slipped away silently, and the curtains fluttered gently in the breeze as intimate breaths and whispers intertwined in the twilight. The afterglow of the setting sun filtered through the gaps in the curtains, casting a warm light upon the large bed. Wang Yu lay on his side, a hand gently resting on Shen Qingya's waist, admiring her serene visage as she slumbered. Her disheveled hair sprawled across the pillow, and her slightly flushed cheeks still bore the remnants of a lingering warmth. Unable to resist, Wang Yu tenderly brushed her hair aside and placed a soft kiss upon her forehead. After a moment, he cautiously rose, mindful not to disturb Shen Qingya. He stealthily gathered the scattered garments from the floor, donning them one by one. Once dressed, he cast a final glance at Shen Qingya, ensuring her peaceful slumber before quietly exiting the bedroom and gently closing the door behind him. Descending the stairs, Wang Yu paused before a door, skillfully entering the code. The door creaked open. In a hidden chamber, how could Wang Yu confine himself to but one delight? Chapter 192. Promise to meet my parents inside the room. The lights were dimmed. Only a few pink ambient lamps emanated a soft and suggestive glow, enveloping the entire space in a tempting hue. As Wang Yu stepped into the room, a charming yet slightly seductive voice called from behind, "Darling, you finally made it." Instinctively, Wang Yu turned to see Chen Mingyao emerging in a snug flight attendant uniform. Paired with black stockings from Balenciaga, it perfectly accentuated her curvaceous figure. Her 171 centimeters stature appeared even more graceful in high heels. Chen Mingyao approached with a sway in her step, her delicate face adorned with sparkling, enticing eyes. Tilting her head slightly, she smiled seductively. "What took you so long? Has Shen Qingya stolen your soul?" With a deliberate motion, she traced her finger lightly across Wang Yu's chest, sending a shiver through him and quickening his heartbeat. Before he could respond, Chun Mingyao drew closer, her faint fragrance enveloping him. She licked her lips softly, her voice a sultry whisper. You know, I've been thinking about you all day. You have consumed my thoughts. As she spoke, her hand climbed to Wang Yu's shoulder, pressing her body against him, the curve of her bosom intentionally brushing against him. Then leaning back slightly, she tugged at Wang Yu's tie, rising on her toes to breathe softly into his ear. I even wore this uniform just for you. Do you like it? Straightening up, her gaze boldly locked onto Wang Yu's, revealing unmasked desire and fervor. One hand slowly glided from her neck down, traversing her collarbone, eventually reaching the buttons of her uniform, her slender fingers leisurely unfastening them. One by one, with each button undone, she bestowed upon him a gaze brimming with temptation. Darling, who stirs your heart more, me or Shun Qingya? Wang Yu remained silent, his breath quickening. Chun Mingyao was truly enchanting, a captivating siren. Even after emerging from his previous encounter, he felt a rush of fervor igniting within him. He abruptly lifted Chun Mingyao into his arms and strode towards the bed, tossing her onto the soft surface. Mingyao giggled charmingly, her arms wrapping tightly around Wang Yu's neck, her legs entwining around his waist. The room was once again filled with intimate sighs and soft murmurs, the pink light flickering softly, bearing witness to this passionate scene. After a moment of tender entanglement, they lay in each other's embrace on the bed. Chun Mingyao's cheeks flushed, glistening with fragrant sweat, her fingers tracing gentle circles on Wang Yu's chest. She whispered, Darling, I truly adore this room you've arranged for me. It feels as though I'm cherished in the palm of your hand. Wang Yu tenderly caressed her long hair, smiling as he replied, As long as you are happy, that's all that matters. However, upon hearing this, Chun Mingyao pouted slightly, a flicker of jealousy dancing in her eyes. You were just with Shun Qingya, and now you come to me. Who do you truly care about more? You are both very important to me. Do not harbor such unfounded jealousy. Wang Yu chuckled helplessly, pulling her closer. Chun Mingyao lifted her gaze to meet Wang Yu's eyes earnestly, saying, Then how will you compensate me? Shall I take you shopping for a handbag? Wang Yu inquired. I don't want that. Chun Mingyao resolutely shook her head. My parents have been urging me to get married, and they're quite insistent. Could you come home with me to meet them? If you're unwilling, then forget it. After speaking, she nervously bit her lip, gazing intently at Wang Yu, awaiting his response. Wang Yu was taken aback by Chun Mingyao's words, a hint of hesitation crossing his face. But he soon regained his smile, gently pinching her nose as he said, I can meet your parents. But I've been extraordinarily busy lately. Once this hectic period is over, I promise I will go back with you, all right? Hearing his assurance, Chun Mingyao's face lit up with joy as she exclaimed, But you mustn't deceive me. My parents are driving me mad with their inquiries about when I will bring my boyfriend home. Wang Yu enveloped Chun Mingyao in his embrace, gently patting her back to soothe her. How could I deceive you? I genuinely regard this matter with great importance. Now, tell me about your parents' hobbies and preferences so I can prepare some gifts in advance. Excited by Wang Yu's agreement, Chun Mingyao sprang upright from the bed, her eyes sparkling. She tightly wrapped her arms around his neck and planted a fervent kiss on his cheek, exclaiming, You're wonderful. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Watching her exuberance, Wang Yu felt a complex swirl of emotions within him. What a silly woman. She is so delighted by merely agreeing to meet her parents. Chun Mingyao's cheeks were flushed with happiness as she leaned in to kiss Wang Yu's lips, her tongue tentatively exploring, infused with urgency and desire. Wang Yu found himself momentarily taken aback by her sudden fervor, yet he soon succumbed to the moment. One arm encircled Chun Mingyao's waist, drawing her close, while the other hand glided along her spine, savoring the softness of her skin. Have you rested well, yet you dare to provoke me once more? Wang Yu whispered breathlessly in her ear. Chun Mingyao giggled softly, playfully nibbling on Wang Yu's earlobe. You promised to meet my parents, and I am so delighted. I want to reward you properly. As she spoke, her hand began to wander restlessly downward. Wang Yu felt a rush of warmth surge within him. He flipped over, pinning Chun Mingyao beneath him. Gazing at her cheeks, slightly flushed with excitement, and her dreamy eyes, he couldn't help but tease, Little glutton, are you planning to devour me completely today? Chun Mingyao wrapped her arms around Wang Yu's neck, her legs entwining around his waist, playfully retorting, Only you. What can you do about it? Their bodies pressed closely together, the points of contact seemingly crackling with electricity. Wang Yu's kisses trailed from Chun Mingyao's neck downward, causing her to shiver and emit soft, tantalizing moans. Chun Mingyao's voice was sweetly alluring. Darling, I love you. Wang Yu held Chun Mingyao tightly, kissing her fervently. Little chick, why are you so full of vigor today? Wang Yu jested. Chun Mingyao shot him an annoyed glance, her hands gripping his back tightly. It's all because of you. Before she could finish her sentence, she was silenced by Wang Yu's kiss. In that passionate moment, it felt as though the entire world had dissolved, leaving only the two of them. The moonlight cascaded softly like gossamer over their entwined forms at the bedside. The skyline of the bustling city sparkled brightly in the night. Occasionally, the distant sound of a riverboat's horn echoed, yet it did nothing to disrupt the unique atmosphere within the room. Chapter 193. The fierce characters from various places 3 days later. A luxurious Maybach glided out of the city. Inside the car, Wang Yu, Qin Fun, and Wang Xizong were comfortably seated. Wang Yu, filled with curiosity, broke the silence first. Where we headed? Wang Xizong and Qin Fun exchanged knowing glances, smirking in unison. We're taking you to broaden your horizons. Wang Yu's curiosity was thoroughly piqued. Leaning forward, he pressed, Don't keep me in suspense. What kind of horizons? At least give me a hint. Patience. You'll find out when we arrive. I assure it will leave a lasting impression, Qin Fun said with a smile, waving his hand dismissively. Little Fatty and Chun Su have matters abroad and couldn't make it. I'm not bringing along the younger Yao Jinglong either. Wang Xizong leaned back in his seat, crossing his legs nonchalantly. He took a delicate sip of his champagne, appearing utterly relaxed. Wang Yu reclined against the seat, his eyes fixed on the rapidly retreating scenery outside the window. The car was heading towards the suburbs. The place that had these two acting so mysteriously and promising him a chance to broaden his horizons must be extraordinary. Was it a top-tier private club or an exclusive yet understated venue? At that moment, the Maybach smoothly merged onto the highway, the speed gradually increasing, and the views outside became increasingly blurred. After a brief silence, Wang Yu remarked, This car is incredibly comfortable. The spaciousness and quietness are unmatched. I used to think sports cars were the epitome of cool, but now I realize that this luxurious business car is the ultimate choice for travel. Now you understand. Sport cars are just for novelty. If you truly want to enjoy the ride, it has to be in a vehicle like this. Besides, where we're going today is certainly not suitable for a sports car, Wang Xizong said with a hint of jest in his smile. As soon as the words escaped his lips, Wang Yu felt a stirring of impatience, eager to inquire further. Yet, Qin Fun seemed to discern his thoughts, stating, Do not ask any more. It would render the anticipation meaningless. Just accompany me, and you shall soon uncover the allure of this place. With a resigned pout, Wang Yu could only exercise patience as he continued to wait. Unbeknownst to him, the Maybach had already departed the expressway, entering a serene and secluded pathway. On either side, lush trees formed a verdant canopy, starkly contrasting the bustling chaos of the city they had just left, as if they had stepped into an entirely different realm. Wang Yu instantly realized that their destination was drawing near. At the end of the path, a building that exuded understated opulence came into view. The Maybach came to a gentle halt. A well-dressed attendant had been waiting at the entrance, clad in a tailored black uniform, his pristine white gloves immaculate, deftly opening the car door for them. The three of them disembarked. Before them stood a clubhouse, its exterior composed of archaic, dark-hued bricks, adorned with flourishing ivy, which, under the mottled sunlight, lent an air of mystery and elegance. Upon entering the clubhouse, a grand, intricately carved oak door swung open slowly. A cascade of melodious classical music enveloped them, mingled with a subtle scent of sandalwood, instantly severing the clamor of the outside world. The lobby soared to astonishing heights, with crystal chandeliers descending from the ceiling. The floor was laid with expansive slabs of Italian marble. To one side lay an expansive indoor landscape pool, teeming with vibrant koi that occasionally leapt from the water, sending up tiny splashes. On the opposite side, an elegant lounge area featured genuine leather sofas and vintage coffee tables, adorned with exquisite silver tea sets and a selection of fashionable magazines. Ahead, a wall composed of wine cabinets displayed an array of expensive libations from around the globe. A middle-aged gentleman in a tailored suit approached briskly, a warm yet measured smile gracing his face. Welcome, young Master Wang, young Master Qin, and Mr. Wang Yu. Your reputation has preceded you in the Magic City these past few days. It is a privilege to encounter you here at the clubhouse. The manager offered a slight bow, his words imbued with respect. Wang Xizong raised an eyebrow, lifting a cocktail from the nearby cabinet and taking a delicate sip before jesting. Old Chun, your flattery is as sweet as honey. However, this clubhouse has undoubtedly elevated its style. Qin Fun nodded in agreement, adding with a smile, Indeed. We have brought Wang Yu here today to broaden his horizons. Too kind, I merely stumbled upon some fortune and made a bit of stir. Yet, this clubhouse is truly the most tasteful establishment I have ever encountered, Wang Yu remarked with a subtle smile. The manager humbly waved his hand, replying, Mr. Wang, You are far too modest. Your prowess is well recognized by all. Esteemed guests, please follow me. The exclusive private room has been prepared for you, complete with fine wines and gourmet delicacies that are sure to delight. With that, the manager led the way, guiding them towards the private room through a winding corridor. Suddenly, a cacophony of shouts erupted. Wang Yu, intrigued, peered around to investigate. A door on one side of the corridor stood ajar, revealing a dimly lit space where dozens of individuals congregated, their fervent voices rising in excitement and encouragement. Wang Yu couldn't help but pause to peer inside. At the center of the scene, two burly men faced off, bare-chested, each punch landing with a force that elicited gasps and cheers from the audience. The air was thick with the scent of sweat and testosterone, both sanguinary and violent. This was the underground boxing arena hosted by the club. Wang Xikong casually explained that it occasionally attracted affluent thrill-seekers who relished the underground fight scene, eager to place bets and witness the spectacle. Qin Fan added that these fighters were fierce competitors sourced from various locales, battling fiercely for substantial prize money, their lives hanging in the balance with each match. Wang Yu was astonished by the fervent atmosphere before him. The manager, noticing their halt, patiently awaited their response, a composed smile adorning his face, as if he were accustomed to such sights. After a moment, Wang Yu regained his senses, and the group continued onward. Turning a corner, they were greeted by a vast hall, expansive and resplendent. Hundreds of elegantly poised women flitted about, their attire revealing a myriad of skin tones on display. Some held wine glasses, engaging in soft conversation with guests, while others swayed rhythmically on the dance floor, entranced by the music. The lighting was suggestive. The aroma of fine spirits permeated the air, enveloping the entire space in a luxurious and enchanting atmosphere. Wang Yu's eyes widened, rendered speechless by the spectacle. Wang Xikong chuckled, giving him a reassuring pat on the shoulder. Well, what do you think? Quite the eye-opener, isn't it? This place attracts beauties from around the globe. Any desire can be fulfilled here. It's one of the club's hallmarks, and countless individuals vie for the chance to experience it. Qin Fan chimed in, teasingly. Isn't this a bit over the top? Wang Yu was taken aback. The manager humbly smiled. Mr. Wang, please forgive the display. This is merely one of the unique services we offer, aimed at providing our esteemed guests with an unparalleled experience. As they traversed the hall, they arrived at the edge of an outdoor swimming pool. The water was crystal clear, shimmering softly with a faint blue glow, its surface glistening with light. A group of women clad in bikinis frolicked in the water, resembling graceful mermaids. This pool's water is sourced from a hot spring resort hundreds of kilometers away. To ensure the quality and temperature of the water, we employ the most advanced equipment and technology, all to provide our guests with a singularly exquisite experience. Moreover, this area is exclusively accessible to our most distinguished patrons, the manager elaborated. Indeed, Wang Yu remarked, captivated by the mermaids before him. These wealthy individuals truly indulge in extravagant pleasures. In his previous life, he had never even glimpsed such opulence. Wasn't this a real-life version of a lavish banquet? Truly, a commendable friend to introduce him to such a splendid place. Wang Xikong grinned proudly. You bet. It's said that the expenses incurred to establish this club are astronomical. Adjacent to the establishment lies a splendid golf course, a horse racing track, and a professional shooting range. Today, I shall treat you, should you find pleasure in this experience. I encourage you to acquire a membership card, granting you access at your leisure henceforth. I recall my inaugural visit here, which enchanted me for an entire week, making me reluctant to return home. A few of us continued our journey along the winding corridor. Along the walls, renowned masterpieces illuminated by soft lighting exuded a unique artistic allure. The carpet beneath our feet was plush and soft, each step akin to traversing upon clouds. At last, the manager halted before an exquisite wooden door and gently pushed it open. Upon entering the private room, my gaze was immediately drawn to a grand circular dining table, crafted from a single slab of premium natural marble. Surrounding it were chairs upholstered in the finest first-layer cowhide, filled with high-density foam, offering not only a soft touch, but also exceptional lumbar support. In one corner of the room, several private lounging areas were arranged, featuring a set of European-style, genuine leather sofas. On the coffee table before the sofa rested an elegant bone china tea set, accompanied by a bottle of recently uncorked exquisite red wine, releasing an inviting aroma. Opposite the resting area stood a small stage, where a stunning woman clad in traditional attire danced gracefully to soothing music. Wang Yu glanced around, noting the large oil paintings adorning the walls of the room, depicting lavish court feasts from medieval Europe, with figures so lifelike and colors so vibrant. These must be authentic masterpieces. Wang Yu could not help but inquire. What a grand display. These paintings alone must hold considerable value, he mused. Mr. Wang possesses a discerning eye. These are indeed genuine works from the Renaissance era, painstakingly collected by our owner, the manager replied with utmost respect. Wang Xikong approached the bar, retrieving an aged bottle of brandy and giving it a gentle swirl. Old Chun, bring forth your finest cigars. Certainly, young Master Wang, the manager responded promptly. Before long, Manager Chen appeared, holding a refined cigar box containing a selection of top-tier Cuban cigars. Qin Fan reclined comfortably on the sofa, leaning back with satisfaction. This place is ideal for both business discussions and gatherings. It is utterly comfortable. Wang Yu strolled to the window, drawing back the heavy curtains. Outside lay a lush garden, with pavilions and towers harmoniously arranged, while a gentle stream meandered through, resembling a paradise untouched by time. This truly is a celestial realm, Wang Yu exclaimed with genuine admiration. Wang Xikong approached with a smile, patting Wang Yu on the shoulder. Whenever you seek relaxation, come here. With a membership card, everything you desire is at your fingertips. He then turned to the manager. Please start serving some dishes. We shall arrange the rest later. Understood, young Master Wang, the manager replied before exiting the room. Shortly thereafter, a group of elegantly attired staff entered, bearing succulent, juicy steaks accompanied by special sauce, alongside a beautifully arranged seafood platter, featuring lobsters and oysters, all freshly airlifted from the deep sea. In terms of beverages, aside from the previously mentioned red wine and brandy, there exists an array of freshly squeezed juices and signature cocktails. Enjoy, esteemed guests, the manager remarked, directing the staff to arrange the food and drinks meticulously. As the group clinked their glasses and savored the exquisite flavors, the atmosphere grew increasingly vibrant. Wang Xikong, his cheeks flushed with a hint of intoxication, raised his hand to summon the manager and boisterously declared, Old Chun, please bring in the girls we've arranged. Certainly. Young Master Wang, just a moment, the manager replied, understanding the cue, his smile perfectly poised as he slightly bowed before hastening out of the private room. Before long, the door to the room swung open once again, ushering in a fragrant breeze as a procession of a dozen alluring young women entered gracefully. Clad in a variety of stylish yet tantalizing outfits, some donned crop tops paired with sizzling mini-skirts, while others showcased their curves in form-fitting quipellos. Additionally, there were those in exotic attire, each captivating in their own right. These young women boasted a diverse array of complexions, yet none bore darker skin. Their fair skin, deep-set eyes, and prominent noses rendered them all undeniably enchanting, and it was evident they were all imported beauties. Wang Xikong raised his glass, standing to address Wang Yu, brother. Since it's your first time, rest assured that these lovely ladies have been meticulously selected by the club. They're sure to please. Wang Yu, taken aback by the scene before him, felt a rush of excitement. Although the women surrounding him were undeniably stunning, indulging in a little amusement was always enticing. With a glimmer of mischief in his eyes, he scanned the room, ultimately settling on a sun-kissed beauty and a blonde, blue-eyed enchantress, stating, I'll take those too. The sun-kissed beauty, with her short, sleek hair, exuded an American warmth and boldness in her sparkling eyes as she smiled and effortlessly sat beside Wang Yu, playfully linking her arm with his. The blonde gracefully approached, her golden locks cascading down her back like a waterfall as she quietly took a seat on Wang Yu's other side. Noticing that Wang Yu had made his selection, Wang Xikong beamed as he surveyed the room, sweeping his hand grandly. I'll have these few. He chose several curvaceous and sweet-faced girls, who giggled and playfully swarmed around him. Qin Fan also joined in, picking a few girls that suited his tastes, and the private room soon resonated with laughter and lively chatter. The young women expertly poured drinks for the men, some cuddling against their shoulders while others initiated conversation, elevating the atmosphere to a crescendo of revelry. After a while, Wang Yu, flanked by the two young women, ventured into the room adjacent to the private area. Wang Xikong and Qin Fan followed suit with their chosen companions. Hi, I'm Name, from the beautiful country, the sun-kissed beauty exclaimed, her lively eyes twinkling as she spoke, her voice ringing clear and melodious, tinged with a distinctive American accent. The golden-haired, blue-eyed young woman gently brushed her flowing locks and sweetly spoke in English, laced with a hint of Eastern European accent. I am from Ukraine. Enthusiastically, she invited Wang Yu to sit by the bed, deftly grasping a bottle of champagne from the table, expertly uncorking it and pouring 3 glasses. Cheers, young Master Wang, she exclaimed, lifting her glass, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Wang Yu raised his glass as well, lightly clinking it against hers before taking a delicate sip, a charming smile gracing his lips. Leaning closer, She bestowed a gentle kiss on his cheek and, with her fingers lightly gliding across his shoulder, whispered softly in his ear, "Just relax and savor this moment." The atmosphere in the room grew increasingly intimate, with soft melodies wafting through the air. Rising to her feet, she swayed her hips to the rhythm of the music, each movement brimming with vitality and allure. Wang Yu also stood, their dance styles contrasting yet captivating in their own right, one exuding fiery passion, the other embodying graceful elegance, ensuring Wang Yu's gaze remained riveted upon them. Chapter 195, A Desire to Spar After a Bout of Indulgence. Both women succumbed to slumber. Wang Yu stepped out of the room, still yearning for more excitement. Having heard the club manager mention a professional boxing ring, he felt a surge of interest and strode purposefully in that direction. Upon entering the boxing arena, he was greeted by a standard boxing ring, encircled by fresh ropes, adorned with posters of various boxers on the walls. A tall, muscular Caucasian boxer, donned in gloves, was warming up against a heavy bag, each punch resonating with a dull thud as the bag swayed violently. Seeing Wang Yu enter, Manager Chen's heart skipped a beat, and he hurriedly followed him. This young Master Wang was a valued guest. Any mishap here would be beyond his capacity to bear. "Young Master, what brings you here? Perhaps I could show you to a more entertaining venue?" Manager Chun suggested with a broad smile, attempting to coax Wang Yu away. However, Wang Yu remained undeterred, his eyes fixed intently on the boxer in the ring. "I just want to throw a few punches and stretch my limbs," he replied, eager to step onto the platform. His physical prowess surpassed ordinary limits, yet he lacked the requisite technique. Realizing he could not dissuade him, Manager Chen silently lamented and signaled to the Caucasian boxer. Understanding the unspoken message, the boxer nodded slightly. He knew better than to offend these affluent young masters. Wang Yu donned the boxing gloves and stepped into the ring, striking a pose he believed to be professional. He immediately initiated an attack, launching a straight punch that boasted commendable speed and power, albeit devoid of structure. The Caucasian boxer easily sidestepped the blow, feigning a retreat of 2 steps, pretending to be somewhat flustered. Wang Yu saw this as a confidence booster and followed up with a flurry of combination punches. Though his movements appeared somewhat chaotic, they were filled with vigor. The boxer continued to evade cautiously, occasionally blocking symbolically, never once returning the favor. After a short while, Wang Yu felt a sense of disinterest wash over him. He paused his movements and regarded the relaxed expression of the white boxer across from him, realizing that the opponent was holding back. "Stop pretending. Are you afraid to truly fight?" Wang Yu provocatively remarked. The white boxer chuckled, removed his mouthguard, and gave Wang Yu a thumbs up. In his somewhat halting Mandarin, he replied, "You possess great strength, but I am a professional boxer and do not wish to injure you." He then added in English, "If you were to undergo professional training, you might very well win a championship in a competitive match." Hearing this, Wang Yu felt somewhat reassured, and the initial fire in his heart dissipated. He wiped the sweat from his forehead and said, "All right, let us call it a day. However, next time, we must have a proper fight." The white boxer nodded in agreement. Manager Chun, visibly relieved, stepped forward and cheerfully remarked to Wang Yu, "Young Master Wang, your performance was truly spectacular. How about a shower first? I can arrange some more entertainment for you afterward." Wang Yu snorted, tossed his gloves to Manager Chun, and replied, "No need for that." He then walked into the shower room. After refreshing himself, Wang Yu emerged from the bathroom, feeling invigorated. As he stepped into the corridor of the club, a familiar voice called out, "Finally found you. Where have you been?" Looking up, he saw Wang Si-tsung approaching. Wang Si-tsung quickly crossed the distance to stand beside Wang Yu, playfully resting a hand on his shoulder. "Where have you been gallivanting on your own? We thought you'd gone missing," he teased. "Just had a couple of punches in the boxing ring to stretch my muscles," Wang Yu chuckled. The two made their way back to the private room, and upon entering, they were greeted by a lively atmosphere. Qin Fan shouted, "I heard you went boxing? Why are you back so soon? Is your stamina lacking, or did you just rush to get fit?" Wang Yu ignored his jibes and walked straight to the coffee table, grabbing a glass of liquor and taking a hearty gulp. At that moment, the door to the private room swung open once more, and 2 women entered hand in hand. They were clad in delicate bathrobes, their hair still slightly damp, and their faces radiated satisfaction. Upon spotting Wang Yu, the 2 quickly approached, affectionately nestling into his embrace, gently caressing his arms and cooing, "Darling, you were incredible just now." "Indeed, young Master Wang is truly impressive. We could hardly keep up." Another chimed in, nuzzling closer to Wang Yu. Qin Fan, witnessing this scene, felt his expression freeze, the teasing smile abruptly vanishing. His eyes widened as he observed the spectacle before him. His heart filled with envy. "Wang Yu, you're quite something. To have won over foreign beauties so swiftly," Wang Si-tsung exclaimed, unable to suppress his admiration tinged with jealousy. Wang Yu set down his glass, a slight smirk gracing his lips as he basked in his own pride. Basic skills. Nothing extraordinary. He feigned modesty. Spare us the false humility, Qin Fen retorted, rolling his eyes. It appears I truly underestimated you. A triumphant cheer echoed in his mind. She is indeed a foreign beauty, notoriously difficult to conquer. Yet, Wang Yu effortlessly captivated her in another. At that moment, the other women in the private room cast envious glances, their hearts brimming with jealousy over his good fortune. Wang Yu, tall and handsome, far outshone the oily Wang Xikong and Qin Fen. At this juncture, Wang Xikong waved to the girls, signaling them to leave. Observing this, Wang Yu nodded toward them as well. Reluctantly, the two girls released their hold on Wang Yu's arm and swayed out of the room. Once they departed, the playful smile on Wang Xikong's face vanished, replaced by a look of despondency. He pulled Wang Yu down onto the sofa and bluntly said, Wang Yu, I need to discuss something with you. You know my Panda Live is in serious trouble right now. Our funding chain has collapsed, and many streamers have jumped ship. I was hoping you could lend a hand. Wang Yu furrowed his brow, pondering for a moment before responding. The competition in the live streaming industry is exceedingly fierce. Douyu and Huya have already secured investments from Tencent, gaining significant momentum and capturing a large market share. He raised his glass, gently swirling it, and continued his analysis. Panda Live lacks sufficient self-sustaining capability, and its previous operational strategies were flawed. The management of contracted streamers was too lax, with many top-tier streamers simultaneously broadcasting on multiple platforms, resulting in diminished user engagement. Even if I were to invest now, it would be challenging to turn the situation around. I might just end up pouring money into a bottomless pit. Listening to Wang Yu's analysis, Wang Xitsong's frown deepened. Leaning back on the sofa, he rubbed his temples and said, I'm aware of these issues, but I simply cannot bear to give up. The future is not merely about streaming and gaming. Look at the current trajectory of the internet industry. Artificial intelligence is rapidly ascending. The next decade will witness AI and big data reshaping the internet landscape. Under this overarching trend, the entire industry will undergo a seismic transformation. The terminal forms will be redefined in new directions. Devices like mobile phones will be re-envisioned through technological advancements, ushering in an era of new terminals. Wang Yu leaned forward, attentively regarding Wang Xikong. Consider the industrial applications. Sectors such as the Internet of Vehicles, satellite technology, and the industrial internet are all undergoing intelligent transformation. Panda Live is not worth saving. It would be wiser to sell your shares now, for a good price. Upon hearing this, a contemplative expression crossed Wang Xikong's face. He picked up a cigarette from the table, lit it, and took a deep drag. If what you say holds true, then the live streaming industry indeed seems to be lagging behind the times. For Panda Live to break through in this environment is exceedingly difficult. Rather than clinging to a declining platform, it would be more prudent to focus on emerging fields such as artificial intelligence, big data, and cloud computing, where opportunities abound. Wang Yu nodded in agreement and continued his analysis. After a prolonged silence, Wang Xikong sighed deeply, saying, It seems there is no choice but to concede. To be honest, Panda Live feels like a child I have nurtured for many years. Letting go now is truly bittersweet. Wang Yu gently patted his shoulder and consoled him. Do not be too despondent. Old things must give way to the new. With your abilities and resources, you are bound to achieve greatness in a new domain. Let's hope so. Wang Xikong managed a faint smile. All right then, I shall heed your advice and completely abandon Panda Live. Having made this decision, he resolved to swiftly handle his shares, hoping to salvage whatever he could. Indeed, find a buyer promptly while Panda Live still possesses some residual value. I have acquaintances in the investment circle who have shown interest in the live streaming industry. I can facilitate an introduction to see if we can secure a favorable price. Qin Fen chimed in, agreeing wholeheartedly. I am truly grateful to you, Wang Yu. Had you not provided such thorough analysis today, I might have continued to stubbornly cling to my losses, ultimately dragging myself down. Wang Xikong expressed his gratitude, looking at Wang Yu appreciatively. What are you saying? We are brothers. It is only natural for us to support one another, Wang Yu replied with a smile, waving his hand dismissively. The three stood up, preparing to leave. As they reached the lobby, Wang Xikong, filled with urgency, said, I must hurry to Pudong Airport. Having made my decision, I need to act swiftly. Observing Wang Xitsong's hurried demeanor, Qin Fen remarked, You say having a private jet is convenient. You can go wherever you wish, whenever you wish, without the hassle of waiting in lines at the airport like us ordinary folk. You two are quite something, ordinary folk. If you two are ordinary, then I am a beggar. Wang Xikong chuckled resignedly. You have a point. A private jet does indeed offer convenience. Perhaps I should purchase one as well. It would save considerable time in the future, Wang Yu mused thoughtfully. Qin Fun's eyes widened in surprise. You affluent gentleman, you speak of purchasing one so casually. But with your financial means, acquiring a private jet is hardly a challenge. Just as Wang Yu finished speaking, he exchanged a glance with Qin Fun, a glimmer of unspoken anticipation passing between them. With a playful bite of her lip, she said with a hint of teasing, Wang Xiao, if you buy a private jet, you must not forget about us. Perhaps one day you could take us out for a joyride. Indeed, Wang Xiao is so generous. He would certainly not refuse. Qin Fan eagerly chimed in. Wang Yu maintained a gentle smile, fully aware that this was merely light-hearted banter following their revelry. He replied nonchalantly, all right, we shall see when the time comes. His tone bore the semblance of jest while subtly establishing a boundary, for to take such frivolities seriously would be folly. As the three exited the room, the night had deepened considerably. A chauffeur awaited them at the entrance in a Rolls-Royce, and one by one, they entered the vehicle. First, they transported Wang Xikong to Pudong Airport, and subsequently, the car carried Wang Yu and Qin Fun towards Lijiazui. The vehicle smoothly glided into the exclusive driveway of the Tianmu Palace, coming to a halt. After bidding farewell to Qin Fun, Wang Yu returned to his residence. As he opened the door, an enveloping silence greeted him. Guided by the faint light seeping through the window, he made his way directly to the bedroom, carelessly tossing his coat onto a nearby chair before collapsing onto the plush bed. With limbs casually stretched, his face deeply buried in the pillow. A moment passes before the room fills with the sound of even, heavy breaths. In the stillness of the night, Wang Yu remains blissfully unaware in his slumber. Yet, the online realm erupts with fervor over two posts by Wang Xikong and Qin Fun. Xikong first shares a group photo of the three on a social platform, where Wang Yu, beaming with a captivating smile, stands prominently at the center. Xikong captions it, reunited with my good brothers. Joyous moments are always fleeting. Almost simultaneously, Qin Fun also shares the same image, writing, today, I converse with dear friends. Having such brothers is indeed a fortune in life. These two posts ignite the curiosity of netizens, flooding the comments section with inquiries. Who is this handsome guy beside Wang Xikong? Why have I never seen him before? To be on such familiar terms with Principal Wang surely indicates an extraordinary background. His looks are stunning, exuding an undeniable aura, standing confidently between Wang Xikong and Qin Fun. Please enlighten us about his origins. He seems to be a hidden magnate. Just looking at that face has captivated me. I yearn to uncover his story. He must be some wealthy heir, given his proximity to Wang Xikong and Qin Fun. As discussions intensify, the posts swiftly ascend to the top of trending topics. Various marketing accounts eagerly share the news, and the entire internet buzzes with speculation regarding Wang Yu's identity. Some surmise he may be a mysterious business tycoon, wielding control over a vast commercial empire, while others conjecture he might be a discreet scion of an affluent family, rarely seen in public. Many admirers, simply enchanted by Wang Yu's striking looks, flood the comments section with declarations of affection. The online discourse surrounding Wang Yu remains fervent. Amidst the fervor of speculations about Wang Yu's identity, a mysterious netizen claiming to be the informant of Magic City drops a bombshell on social media. First, a photograph emerges of Wang Yu driving a limited edition Ferrari LaFerrari through the bustling streets of the city, showcasing the sleek luxury of the car alongside his handsome profile. The comments section erupts in excitement. Subsequently, the informant releases more sensational material, including several photographs of Wang Yu frequenting a bar, with security guards in crisp uniforms and luxury cars forming a long queue. Is that a LaFerrari? Wow, that aura. Only the elite can truly command it. I bet he is the heir of some multinational corporation. This is remarkable. Netizens gasp in astonishment. Shortly thereafter, another photograph surfaces, depicting Wang Yu dining in the cafeteria alongside a charming young woman. The two appear to be engaged in delightful conversation, exuding sweetness. Once again, the comments explode. So he is a student at the university. What a classic campus romance. The girl beside him is stunning. Could she be the campus beauty? Indeed, news soon circulates that Wang Yu is not only a third-year student at the university, but that the lovely girl by his side is none other than the campus belle. Meanwhile, Wang Yu, unable to contain himself, anonymously revealed on the internet. Wang Yu usually maintains a low profile at school, shunning the spotlight. We all know he is extraordinary, but none of us expected him to be this impressive. He is friends with Wang Xikong and Qin Fun. This was a well-kept secret. To add to the intrigue, some netizens joined in, sharing details about the luxurious Sky Palace at Zhongliang Haijing No. 1 in Lijiazui, insinuating that this is Wang Yu's residence. This is one of the most prestigious properties in Shanghai, and living here speaks volumes about the family's wealth. In no time, the online discussions surrounding Wang Yu surged exponentially. Marketing accounts seized the moment, launching a series of articles unveiling Wang Yu's identity. Major forums were inundated with posts related to him. Netizens fervently debated everything from his luxury cars and opulent homes to his campus life and romantic entanglements, leaving no stone unturned. Wang Yu had completely transformed from a mysterious figure into a widely recognized topic of conversation on the internet. Meanwhile, he remained blissfully unaware, sleeping soundly on the grand bed in the Sky Palace, oblivious to the tempest he had stirred online. Awaiting him was a deluge of attention and discussion upon waking the next day. The following morning, sunlight filtered through the curtain seams, gently illuminating Wang Yu's face. He furrowed his brow, instinctively shielding his eyes from the light. Gradually, he opened his eyes, stretched languidly, and let out a satisfied murmur before sitting up slowly. Just then, the shrill ring of his phone disrupted the tranquility of the room. Wang Yu reached over to the bedside table, fumbling for his phone, which displayed an incoming call from Qin Fun. He pressed the answer button, his voice still tinged with sleep. "Hello, Lao Qin. What's up so early?" Laughter erupted from the other end of the line. "Ha, Wang Yu, you might not know this yet, but you are now a sensational internet celebrity." "Sensational? What are you talking about?" Wang Yu replied, his face a portrait of confusion as he rubbed his still sleepy head. Qin Fun chuckled even more heartily. "You should check online right away. There's a flurry of news about you everywhere." Upon hearing this, Wang Yu's mind began to clear. He opened his phone, and various trending topics and notifications about himself flooded his vision. As he perused the overwhelming barrage of revelations and discussions, he couldn't help but feel a sense of resignation. What is all this? Wang Yu sighed. What are you planning to do? With the current buzz so high, should you seize the moment and take some action? Qin Fun inquired. Wang Yu pondered for a moment before calmly responding. Let us just take a hands-off approach. This hype will come and go swiftly, and there's no need to pay it much mind. In due time, everyone will forget. Qin Fun concurred. All right, I'll follow your lead. I just worry you might be overwhelmed by this sudden attention. Am I that fragile? Don't worry, Wang Yu replied with a smile. Qin Fun continued on the other end of the line. By the way, there's a massive auto show at the National Exhibition and Convention Center in Shanghai these days, featuring an array of luxury cars and the latest models, including several concept vehicles. Would you care to join the festivities? Wang Yu felt a surge of curiosity upon hearing this. After all, the auto show would showcase numerous rare luxury cars. The National Exhibition and Convention Center stands as Asia's largest comprehensive exhibition complex, featuring vast venues equipped with cutting-edge facilities. A multitude of automotive companies and spectators would undoubtedly attend. All right, it wouldn't hurt to take a look, especially since I have no pressing matters at hand, Wang Yu replied. Great. Let's meet at the entrance of the exhibition center. I'll arrive around 10 in the morning. Does that work for you? Qin Fun inquired. Wang Yu glanced at the time and nodded in agreement. 10 o'clock works perfectly. I'll see you then. Excellent, it's settled then. Qin Fun exclaimed with enthusiasm. Haha, all right, I'll hang up now. We'll converse more at the auto show. Wang Yu chuckled as he ended the call. He rose and approached the window, pulling aside the heavy curtains, allowing sunlight to flood the room. By 10 in the morning, the sun shone brightly under a clear sky. Wang Yu drove his black Koenigsegg Agera, arriving punctually at the entrance of the Magic City Exhibition Center. From afar, he spotted Qin Fun scanning the area. Beside him stood the chubby Li Xiang, Chen Su, and Yao Jinglong, all of whom appeared particularly excited after a long absence. Wang Yu over here. Yao Jinglong, with keen eyes, quickly spotted Wang Yu and waved energetically. Wang Yu hurried over, greeting each person with a smile. It's been a while. Li Xiang, grinning broadly, patted Wang Yu on the shoulder. Look at you now, a renowned figure. Your name is everywhere online. That's all thanks to old Qin and old Wang. Wang Yu replied with a hint of annoyance. Huh? Who told you to be so low-key all the time? Qin Fun teased with a mischievous grin. As they conversed, the sight before them was a spectacle of luxury cars at the auto show, showcasing a plethora of top-tier brands. Influencers clad in fashionable attire posed in front of vehicles, capturing moments for their followers. Journalists and media personnel wielded cameras, eagerly documenting the captivating scenes of the exhibition. The atmosphere was bustling, teeming with people, making it somewhat challenging to navigate through the crowd. Observing the throng, Qin Fun chuckled. Fortunately, I came prepared. Follow me. We'll take the VIP entrance. He led the group toward the entrance of a special passage. Wang Yu and Qin Fun had also brought their bodyguards along. The guards, well trained, formed a protective circle around them, not only clearing a stable path through the crowd, but also ensuring their safety amidst the multitude of onlookers. Upon successfully entering the exhibition, the sight of dazzling luxury cars ignited excitement in everyone's eyes. The cacophony of sounds enveloped them as they stepped inside, where vibrant lights illuminated the pristine vehicles, reflecting a brilliant glow. The air was infused with the scent of new leather and a hint of perfume. Not far off, a group of car models stood beside a striking yellow supercar, particularly eye-catching. One model wore a high-slit red, form-fitting dress, further captivating the attention of onlookers. Her long, graceful legs peeked alluringly from beneath the high-slit hem of her dress, accentuated by a pair of black stilettos that enhanced her figure to perfection. Her makeup was exquisite, with fiery red lips harmonizing beautifully with her crimson miniskirt, while her cascading waves of hair fell casually over her shoulders. She tilted her body slightly, one hand delicately resting on the sleek body of a supercar, the other gracefully hanging by her side, her gaze exuding confidence and allure. Occasionally, she flashed a captivating smile at the onlookers snapping photos around her. Chapter 198. Seize the opportunity. Yao Jinglong's eyes widened in astonishment, unable to suppress a gulp as he exclaimed, "Wow, this is incredibly sexy. This is where a man ought to be. Stop acting like you've never seen anything like this before and go check out the cars." Chen Su chuckled, giving him a playful shove. Qin Fen led the way ahead, smiling as he remarked, "There are plenty of supercars at this auto show, and I hear there's even a globally limited edition. Let us hurry and take a look." The group followed Qin Fen towards the luxury car exhibition area. As they walked, the bustling crowd around them buzzed with excitement, fervently discussing the various luxury vehicles on display. Wang Yu's bodyguards closely trailed behind, ever vigilant of their surroundings to ensure their safety. Just a short distance later, someone in the crowd suddenly recognized Qin Fen and Wang Yu, causing an immediate stir. "Look, isn't that the recently popular Wang Yu? And Qin Fen too. They actually came to the auto show together. My goodness, Wang Yu is so handsome. I've heard he has a close relationship with Wang Xikong. He must have an impressive background. I wonder if he'll buy a luxury car today. I wonder if they'll take a picture with us. I'm all set." Excited whispers rapidly spread through the crowd, and more people turned their heads, their eyes brimming with starstruck enthusiasm. Within moments, a throng gathered, many pulling out their phones to capture the moment, while the bolder ones attempted to inch closer for a better view. Sensing the escalating situation, the security personnel quickly moved in. Wang Yu and Qin Fen's bodyguards instinctively formed a protective circle with the staff, creating a solid barrier to shield them from the surging crowd. "I can't believe I'm seeing Wang Yu here. How lucky am I?" a young girl exclaimed, her voice trembling with excitement. Indeed, Wang Yu is incredibly popular right now. I wonder if he'll buy a luxury car at the show. That'll be big news. A nearby boy chimed in. In the face of this sudden attention, Wang Yu and Qin Fen maintained their composure, clearly accustomed to such scenes. Qin Fen smirked slightly, teasing Wang Yu. "It seems our low-profile outing is doomed." Wang Yu shrugged with a resigned smile. "It's no big deal." The crowd was kept at a safe distance by the bodyguards and staff, yet the fervor of the fans remained unabated as they held their phones aloft, trailing closely behind. The lenses were fixated on Wang Yu and Qin Fen, eager to capture every moment of their presence at the auto show, anticipating the thrilling sight of Wang Yu selecting a luxury car. Speculating on which vehicle he might favor, they soon arrived at the Rolls-Royce showroom. The dazzling lights illuminated the metallic exteriors of the luxurious cars, making them shimmer with an irresistible allure. As they stepped into the showroom, the already lively atmosphere surged to a new crescendo. The models, initially adorned with professional smiles and poised elegance, suddenly sparkled with excitement upon spotting Wang Yu and his companions. At the Rolls-Royce display, a model clad in a silver sequined mini dress showcased her striking long legs, immediately adjusting her pose upon noticing Wang Yu. She slightly bent one leg, tilting her body forward to accentuate her perfect curves, while occasionally tossing her luscious waves of hair. Her gaze was imbued with seduction, and a charming smile graced her lips as she endeavored to leave a lasting impression on Wang Yu. Meanwhile, the Bugatti model donned a black backless gown that revealed her fair, exquisite back, with her arms crossed over her chest. Her initially aloof expression softened with a hint of eagerness as she tilted her head, gazing at Wang Yu with longing, seemingly inviting him to draw nearer. "I can't believe Wang Yu has graced our showroom. We must seize this opportunity," one model whispered to her companion. "Indeed, if we could capture a photo with him or even catch his attention, it might just propel us to fame," her friend agreed. The owner of the Rolls-Royce showroom harbored great expectations for this exhibition. having specially invited the renowned influencer Jin Kuer to conduct a live broadcast. Jin Kaiya, a prominent figure across various streaming platforms, boasted a massive following due to her talents and striking beauty. As she live-streamed in front of a Cullinan, Jin Kuer was initially engaged in playful banter with her audience. Suddenly, a commotion erupted within the showroom, prompting her to turn and gaze in astonishment. What is happening? Why is the host stunned? Is there a celebrity present? Came the excited comments flooding in. Hurry, I'm dying of curiosity. Let us see what's going on. Regaining her composure, Jin Kuer addressed her viewers. Apologies, dear friends, but do you know who I just spotted? Don't keep us in suspense. Who is it? The audience clamored. If you don't reveal it soon, everyone will leave the stream. With a playful smile, Jin Kuer replied, All right, let me share the news. After a brief pause, she continued, the sensational Wang Yu, who has taken the internet by storm recently, is here at the car exhibition, and so is Qin Fun. As soon as her words echoed through the stream, the chat erupted into chaos. No way, Wang Yu is here too? Quickly, turn the camera towards him. Sister, pivot the camera. We must see just how handsome our idol truly is. And Qin Fun is here as well. Let us catch a glimpse. Jin Kuer observed the barrage of comments demanding to see Wang Yu. She hesitated slightly and said, Is this really appropriate? These wealthy heirs are likely to be quite sensitive about being in the limelight. If I recklessly point my phone at them, wouldn't that be rather impolite? The host responded, You should not put Jin Kuer in a difficult position. Indeed, considering Wang Yu's status, it would be improbable for him to allow a live broadcast. At that moment, a viewer in the live stream suggested, Why not have the host ask Wang Yu if it's possible? Just say it's a strong request from millions of viewers. Jin Kuer thought this was a brilliant idea, exclaiming, Yes, you should try. What if Wang Yu agrees? She looked at the suggestions from the viewers, a spark of excitement igniting in her eyes. Absolutely. I can certainly ask him. If Wang Yu consents, my stream's popularity will skyrocket. Jin Kuer eagerly addressed her audience. Dear friends, please wait for my good news. I will inquire right away. Go on. We're anticipating your news. They cheered. Host, bring forth the charm you usually entice us with. Indeed, how could someone as young as Wang Yu remain unaffected by Jin Kuer's allure? But they mused, if you keep giving the host suggestions, what will we watch if Wang Yu takes an interest? Why didn't you mention that sooner? Chapter 199. Now, this is a true tycoon. Jin Kuer chose to disregard the comments from her fans. Taking a deep breath, she composed herself to quell her excitement. It would be disingenuous to say she had no ulterior motives. Wang Yu was indeed among the elite, akin to Wang Xizong and Qin Fun. If she could capture his attention, why would she even need to stream? Becoming Wang Yu's partner would be akin to achieving the pinnacle of success, transforming her life's narrative entirely. Various opulent images flooded her mind, and the more she pondered, the more entranced she became, her hand trembling slightly around her phone. She resolved that today, without fail, she would obtain Wang Yu's contact information. She hurriedly tidied her hair and makeup, ensuring everything was flawless. Then, with a captivating stride, she approached Wang Yu. The live stream erupted in excitement. What is the host planning to do? Surely she doesn't intend to flirt with Wang Yu. That would be audacious. Oh no, the host might be losing her focus on her streaming career for a man. Jin Kuer, don't leave us. Stay grounded. With so many beauties around Wang Yu, how could he possibly take notice of you? Jin Kuer approached Wang Yu, flashing him a sweet smile. Hello, young Master Wang. I'm the host Jin Kuer. May I get to know you? At that moment, Wang Yu was admiring the Rolls-Royce models in the exhibition hall. He turned to look at Jin Kuer, a glimmer of astonishment crossing his features. She wore a stunning white gown adorned with sequins, her hair cascading in glamorous waves. And she stood tall in silver high heels, accentuating her perfect curves, radiating charm. Name, Yin Lu. Age, 28. Height, 168 centimeters. Charm, 91. Physique, 82. Affinity, 60. Skills, intermediate piano, advanced dance, intermediate singing. Wang Yu waved his hand towards his bodyguard. He recognized this woman. She was a relatively famous online host, skilled in singing and dancing, proficient in playing the piano. Particularly captivating is the enchanting Daylur. With a significant following across the internet, the bodyguard, upon receiving a nod from Wang Yu, stepped aside to allow Jin Kuer to enter. Jin Kuer approached the group with a beaming smile, greeting, Young Master Wang, Young Master Qin. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am a streamer Jin Kuer, though my real name is Yin Lu. Qin Fun quickly discerned that Jin Kuer was there to see Wang Yu, and chuckled, Old Wang, you have quite the charm. Feel free to chat. We shall step aside and take a look. With a smirk, Chinsu followed Qin Fun to observe the cars. Wang Yu, feeling a bit helpless, inquired, Do you have something to discuss? Young Master Wang, Jean Cour replied sweetly. I received a request from Rolls-Royce to stream live here. I noticed you just arrived, and my fans are eager to see you. I thought I might seek your permission. Wang Yu raised an eyebrow, sizing her up. Oh, what advantage does it bring me for your fans to see me? He said, a playful tone in his voice. Jean Cour felt a sudden pang of nervousness but quickly regained her composure, her adaptability honed from years on the streaming platform. She blinked her sparkling eyes and replied coyly. Young Master Wang, you may not realize it, but you're a national-level idol online. Many wish to see your true self. Very well, Wang Yu nodded. With so many people and journalists present, it was not just Jean Cour's request that mattered. Moreover, her initiative to seek his consent piqued his interest in her. Jean Cour let out a joyful cheer, pulling out her phone and eagerly asking, Young Master Wang, may I have the honor of adding you to my contacts? Certainly, Wang Yu replied, retrieving his phone to connect with her on Feishine. Thank you so much. I will return to my livestream now, Jean Cour expressed, feeling pleasantly surprised. Wang Yu was entirely different from her expectations. He bore no semblance of a typical rich second-generation heir, which stirred her curiosity further. Wang Yu watched as Jean Cour approached a sleek black Cullinan. Suddenly, he exclaimed, Wait, let me take a look at that car. They approached the Cullinan, and Jean Cour inquired, Young Master, are you interested in this vehicle? Indeed, Wang Yu admired the vehicle, running his hand along its sleek body. Having driven sports cars daily, he found them rather mundane now. The singular passenger seat often felt insufficient, especially in the company of multiple companions. Turning to the staff, Wang Yu asked, What is the price of this car? Young Master, the Cullinan is priced at 7,800,000. The staff member replied promptly. Let us proceed with the payment. Wang Yu declared, producing his bank card. What? The staff member was taken aback. This was a Cullinan costing over 7 million, and with taxes and fees, the total would exceed 10 million. Was Wang Yu treating it like a mere purchase of vegetables? Coming back to his senses, the staff member continued respectfully, Young Master. The total cost, including all fees, amounts to 1,080,000,000. Please proceed with the formalities, Wang Yu remarked nonchalantly. Certainly, Young Master Wang. The staff member ceased further conversation and promptly began handling the necessary paperwork. Soon, he returned with the documents, which Wang Yu perused briefly. After confirming everything was in order, he affixed his signature. The payment was successful. Ding. The system detects that the host has spent 10.8 million, resulting in a double cashback of 21.6 million. Ding. Congratulations to the host for acquiring 1080 system points. A chorus of astonished gasps erupted in the vicinity. This godly man is exceedingly extravagant. He simply bought a Cullinan without batting an eye. Indeed, over 10 million, and he didn't even flinch. My dear husband, I love you. Sweetheart, look at me. I could do anything. Handsome, let's take a picture together. Jean Cour, holding her phone, was equally astonished, covering her mouth in disbelief. She was aware of Wang Yu's wealth, but had not anticipated such staggering affluence. In contrast, the affluent patrons who frequented her live streams and showered her with gifts worth tens of thousands felt utterly impoverished by comparison. This was the epitome of a true financial titan. The barrage of comments in the live stream escalated rapidly. Streamer, bring your phone closer. I want to bask in Young Master Wang's opulence. Perhaps I'll win the lottery next. I seriously suspect Young Master Wang is the reincarnation of the god of wealth. How else could he purchase a luxury car as effortlessly as buying an ice cream? It's just a Cullinan. What's so impressive about that? To the wealthy fellow upstairs. I'll wager 50 on your prowess. Same here. I'll bet 50 on a crazy Friday meal. If I had the financial might of this handsome man, I'd indulge in fried dough sticks for breakfast, tossing one aside after another, and drink a bowl of soy milk only to pour out the next. Jean Cour gazed at the rapidly scrolling comments on her phone, momentarily taken aback. Steadying herself, she once again aimed the camera at Wang Yu. At that moment, he was engaged in conversation with the staff, seemingly unfazed by the surrounding clamor. Journalists were incessantly snapping photos of him, capturing various details that were quickly disseminated online. Inutile fervent discussion. Shocking. The handsome Wang Yu extravagantly spends millions at the car show to acquire a Cullinan instantly. What sorcery is this? With the effortless acquisition of $1 million Cullinan, Wang Yu's enigmatic financial empire may soon be unveiled. Wang Yu's lavish spending. Is purchasing a Cullinan a personal preference or a prelude to a commercial strategy? Chapter 200. Buying luxury cars as if purchasing groceries after completing the payment. The Rolls-Royce staff respectfully stated, Young Master Wang, we will expedite the registration process and have the car delivered to your mansion tonight. Very well. After providing his address, Wang Yu turned and strolled towards the Bugatti showroom. His bodyguard, Lung Feng, along with other security personnel, closely shadowed him, their vigilant eyes scanning the increasingly animated crowd to ensure his safety. Streamer Jean Coeur hesitated as she watched Wang Yu prepare to leave. She was still on duty, yet this was a rare opportunity. If she let this chance slip by, cultivating any further connection with Wang Yu would be arduous. The viewers in the live stream, upon witnessing Wang Yu's departure, grew increasingly anxious. Streamer, don't just stand there. Hurry and follow him. If you don't catch up, I won't be able to sleep tonight. Go now. Don't hesitate. If you miss this chance, it may never come again. I'll handle any explanations required back at Rolls-Royce. What can you possibly explain? What about the streamer's job? Jean Couture bit her lip and stomped her foot, declaring, all right, my friends, I shall give it my all. With that, she lifted the hem of her dress slightly and jogged towards Wang Yu. For the sake of fulfilling your requests, I am truly risking it all. The viewers were quick to protest. You old woman, caught up in your own youthful fantasies, and you blame us for it. Enough chatter, just go. More people are arriving. Wang Yu, noticing Jean Coeur had caught up, paid her little mind. Instead, he found himself intrigued by a streamer in the Bugatti showroom. It was none other than Yu Meng, a goddess in the dreams of countless young men online. She possessed a delightful sweetness and an air of elegance. With a versatile style. At that moment, she stood before a Bugatti supercar, wearing a snug white crop top that accentuated her slender waist. Her ensemble was completed by an ultra-short black leather skirt and thigh-high black stockings, showcasing her long, straight legs to perfection, all accentuated by a pair of black stiletto heels that added a touch of allure. Holding her streaming equipment, she animatedly explained the performance parameters of the Bugatti to the camera. Yu Meng, look behind you, Wang Yu is coming. Stop talking and turn the camera around. As Yu Meng was engrossed in her presentation, she was momentarily taken aback by the barrage of comments. Why are you all so excited about Wang Yu? She asked, puzzled. He's the rich second-generation star who's been trending across the internet, buying luxury cars like it's grocery shopping. Surely you've heard of him. The viewers grew more frantic, their comments flooding in thick and fast, overwhelming Yu Meng. It was only then that she realized the magnitude of the situation, her eyes widening in surprise. How could she not know about Wang Yu? His information was the hottest topic online at the moment. She turned to see him approaching, the crowd parting to create a pathway for him. Her heart inexplicably raced, but she quickly composed herself, donning a bright smile. However, Wang Yu paid her no mind, instead focusing on a blue Bugatti supercar behind her. The vehicle, named Meteor, was globally limited to just 40 units. Equipped with an 80-liter quad-turbocharged 16-cylinder engine, it boasted an astounding 850 horsepower, achieving 0 to 100 kilometers in merely 2.17 seconds, with a top speed reaching 500 kilometers per hour. Its body was crafted from carbon fiber, featuring ethereal headlights and a sleek aerodynamic design. The exhaust outlets at the rear resembled rocket nozzles, exuding an aura of extreme aesthetic violence. Zhang Wei, the sales manager for Bugatti, had been closely monitoring the movements of these wealthy, second-generation individuals. As he noticed Wang Yu's interest in the supercar, a smile immediately graced his face. Zhang Wei swiftly adjusted his collar and approached Wang Yu. Young Master Wang, your discernment is truly commendable. Manager Zhang beamed with a smile, respectfully introducing. This Fire Meteor is not only the most luxurious supercar in our showroom, but also in the entire auto exhibition, without exception. Just look at its exterior design. The sleek lines paired with the enchanting headlights ensure it turns heads on the road, not to mention its astonishing performance. A staggering output of 1850 horsepower. It's akin to a terrestrial aircraft. Manager Zhang passionately elaborated, hoping to evoke a spark of desire in Wang Yu. These supercars easily command tens of millions, accessible only to the ultra-wealthy. After all, Wang Yu had just acquired a Cullinan for over 10 million, making the prospect of another purchase quite probable. Chapter 201. The wealth that many cannot earn in several lifetimes. Furthermore, young Master Wang, we have provided a dedicated top-tier after-sales service team for this vehicle. Once you possess it, we will ensure all maintenance and repairs are handled with the utmost excellence and attentiveness, allowing you to enjoy it without any concerns, Li Ming added, his gaze fixed intently on Wang Yu, attempting to discern even the faintest sign of interest from his expression. Meanwhile, other sales personnel in the showroom had noticed the commotion and paused their tasks, their eyes filled with envy. The surrounding crowd buzzed with speculation. This was a supercar worth tens of millions. Would Wang Yu make the purchase? Yu Meng, noticing Wang Yu's indifference towards her, awkwardly addressed the viewers in the live stream. What do you think? Will Wang Yu buy this car? I wager 50 cents that he'll pay in full. I can't believe it. After all, it costs tens of millions. Surely he'll consider it. Wang Yu gazed at the Fire Meteor before him, a satisfied expression emerging on his face. Impressive. This was his immediate impression. It was another supercar, rivaling the likes of the Koenigsegg Jesko and the Ferrari LaFerrari. How much is this car? Wang Yu directly inquired of Manager Zhang. Upon hearing this, the smile on Manager Zhang's face widened. He respectfully replied, "Young Master Wang, for discerning guests such as yourself, we can offer this fire meteor at the price of 76,880,000. You can acquire it with a full payment. This price is undoubtedly a bargain on a global scale, so why not swipe your card?" Before Manager Zhang could finish his sentence, he was interrupted by Wang Yu. At this proclamation, the crowd erupted in astonishment. 76,880,000? That's exorbitantly expensive. Did he just decide to buy it outright? That is a sum many would never earn in several lifetimes. For my idol, this might just be a trivial matter. Jean Coeur and Yu Meng's live stream also exploded with excitement, a flurry of comments flooding in, some expressing awe, others jealousy, and even some derogatory remarks, vividly showcasing the spectrum of human emotion. Manager Zhang was momentarily stunned, struggling to believe his ears. However, quickly regaining his composure, he exclaimed joyously, "Young Master Wang, you are truly remarkable. Please come this way. I will promptly assist you with the vehicle purchase procedures." Shortly thereafter, Wang Yu signed a contract and completed the payment. Ding! The system has detected a consumption of 76.88 million, with a double cashback of 153.76 billion. Ding! Congratulations. The host has earned 7,688 system points. Goodness. Yu Meng could not suppress her exclamation. This was a hypercar worth over 70 million, and he purchased it just like that? From Wang Yu's arrival to the payment success, did not even 5 minutes elapse? The barrage in the live stream was also flooding in. 76.88 million, as if he spent just a few coins effortlessly. Please accept my admiration. This is the true epitome of a life winner. At that moment, the media journalists crowded nearby went into a frenzy, their cameras flashing incessantly. They frantically pressed their shutters while calling out Wang Yu's name. "Young Master Wang, may I ask if there was a special reason behind your purchase of this hypercar? What are your feelings regarding such a colossal expenditure?" A torrent of questions surged forth. The live stream of Jean Coeur and Yu Meng reached unprecedented heights of popularity. Their viewership soared to over 1 million. The comments on the screen rolled like snowflakes, nearly overwhelming the entire image. Manager Zhang tightly grasped Wang Yu's hand, nearly moved to tears. "Young Master Wang, this transaction is undoubtedly the most illustrious of my career. Should you have any future vehicle needs, regardless of the model, even if it is the only one in the world, I will spare no effort to procure it for you." "Sounds good," Wang Yu replied with a light chuckle, while the vehicle was arranged to be delivered to his celestial palace by the staff. Wang Yu turned to Yu Meng beside him and said, "I know you." "Ah," Yu Meng gasped in surprise. Instinctively, she replied, "Young Master Wang, you watch my live streams too?" "Occasionally," Wang Yu replied with a faint smile. In his previous life, he indeed enjoyed watching Yu Meng's videos, which had a versatile style that never grew tiresome. Wang Yu nodded at Yu Meng and then walked towards another exhibition hall to meet with Qin Fun and the others. Upon reaching the Ferrari exhibition hall, Qin Su had just purchased a Ferrari hypercar. Seeing Wang Yu's arrival, Qin Fun teased, "Oh, did you have a good chat with the little streamer? Are you ready? I see there aren't any particularly remarkable cars left." Wang Yu, with a nonchalant expression, shifted the topic. "Well, I was supposed to wait for Qin Su to finish selling this car before seeking you out, yet here you are first." Qin Fun replied in exasperation, "Look at all these people. They are here to see you. Once you've completed your purchase, just hurry and leave." Wang Yu glanced at the increasingly crowded surroundings and felt a slight headache. Ever since news of his attendance at the car exhibition spread, it seemed like everyone in the city had flocked here. After exiting the exhibition hall, Wang Yu and Qin Fun parted ways. He drove his Venom swiftly towards the Celestial Palace, eager to leave this hub of chaos. Inside the exhibition hall, Jean Coeur and Yu Meng exchanged glances. Subsequently, the two shared a tacit understanding and ended the live stream. "He just left like that?" Yu Meng expressed her discontent. "He left. Do you regret it?" Jin Kai teased it. Having regained her composure, she and Yu Meng worked for the same company, and although they were familiar with each other, their conversations were limited due to work. Yu Meng's face flushed. "Who regrets it? I just find it somewhat poignant that Wang Yu is different from other men." "In what way is he different?" Jean Coeur inquired. "Is it because he is wealthier?" "No, it's because he is not lecherous." Jean Coeur's eyes sparkled. "Have you noticed that too? Wang Yu truly stands apart from other men. Look at those around us. Their eyes are fixed on us. Yet Wang Yu does not gaze upon us in the same manner." With a sigh, Jean Coeur continued, "If only Wang Yu were a bit more lascivious. That would be better." "Ha ha, you laugh at me. Yet you are the same, Yu Ming remarked, observing Jean Ker's hearty laughter, devoid of any goddess-like pretensions. After laughing for a while, Yu Ming asked, have you added Wang Yu on Fei Xin? Yehey, Jean Kerr nodded. What? He pays me no mind, yet he adds you? Yu Ming exclaimed in disbelief, clutching her chest. She glanced at Jean Ker's ample figure and then at her own. There is hardly any difference. Isn't it just a matter of having a bit more fat? Why the differential treatment? Does Wang Yu prefer larger figures? Why don't we contact Wang Yu? Yu Ming suggested, her eyes brightening. Contact him? Jean Kerr hesitated, finally conceding, but we still have our exhibition duties, don't we? Yu Ming waved her hand dismissively. We are here to attract foot traffic for the exhibition. Look at the crowd. Is there a shortage of people? Jean Kerr observed the expansive exhibition hall, already bustling